I mean, Edan over there has glowing eyes. Have you seen those? Those are fantastic.
Yes, that's another thing. I do want to address that. Are you alright as well? Can
Oh, yes, of
please recite the numbers that I'm holding in front of you?
course. I would. Don't worry about me. I'm fine.
No, that's a concern. Please tell me the numbers,
How
please.
many fingers am I holding up? And she starts waving the goblin hand.
Oh dear.
I like her.
Oh, put that down. Oh, I'd really not touch that.
Last time on Rise of the Runelords, you all made your way various ways into town. Most of you ending up at the Rusty Dragon.
Crusty.
3 of you with pack animals.
Yes.
Got settled in, and it was the night of the carnival. Or afternoon is when the carnival opened up. There was a lot of fun to be had, target practice, pastries, more pastries, the bear garden.
Had a good time in that bear garden.
Funny enough, the bartender in there is a druid who can wild shape into a bear.
The bear garden.
Yeah, it could be something very different. Now that I think about it.
No, the actually the half-orc druid that mans the bar tent was one of my old characters. Alright,
See,
so
I hear bear garden and I just picture like a bunch of trees with fuzzy little fruits, and then when they fall to the ground, it's a little bear cub.
Oh.
Aww.
Or honey heist.
Honey heist.
Honey
Well, in
eyes.
the bear garden, there's a heist going on.
You guys also, some of you got your fortune read, and
Yeah,
well, everyone was enjoying themselves. You guys heard screams. There was a goblin attack that had just sprung up. Goblins running amok everywhere. People running for their lives. Some fighting back. There were few guards. Some of the circus folk had weapons or magic they could use. And you guys jumping into action to help. Managed to fight off the first group of goblins that made their way over towards you.
No, we're gonna need some battle music. Which is
Oh,
way
yeah.
too.
I was just doing this for the recap.
Oh yeah, you're good. Sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt. Jake, carry on.
Oh, good. I'm quickly looking up a rule.
Per usual.
It's begun.
We're not even 5 minutes in.
If a
We're
player
looking up
forgets to
rule.
take their first level feat, they cannot level
It must be
past level
sacrificed to
1.
the volcano.
Yeah.
Oh, really quick. Quick reminder. I got here late, so I don't know if Jake already brought this up. Just in sec, you should totally send Jake an instrument.
Oh, right. Is
French
this
horn.
the
Oh,
violin?
yes. French horn violin, okay.
They fiddle and violin.
Yep.
Nice.
All right. No, I can work with that. That sounds dope.
And didgeridoo.
No,
Not really.
I took it
A
back.
theremin.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't a didgeridoo. Oh, that would have been really good.
Vuvuzela.
Theremin would have been cool.
It almost was a vuvuzela.
Are you making like music for our characters?
Yeah. The theme song that I'm writing, I'm going to use those instruments.
That's cool. So wait, we've got
Yeah, violin,
we have
for
a
sure.
fiddle,
She's
a violin, a
French horn.
French horn.
bagpipe.
Tibetan singing bowl.
Tibetan singing bowl.
Oh, okay.
A
And
bowl that sings.
Oh, I don't remember mine.
Cool as
Yeah,
hell.
You
was
said
cello?
cello or
Bass.
double bass.
Yeah.
All about that bass.
nice.
So yeah, we actually have a good spread of instruments.
I was about to say, like,
Yeah,
someone has
that's
to have some. We got some brass, string, A
You
singing
can't go
bowl.
wrong with a French
I'm
horn.
not sure where
Percussion.
singing bowl
Zimmer
falls into
loves
that.
French horns.
I'd put that in
It's
percussion.
more like synth kind of pad. It gives very low tonal
It's like a drone.
sounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Leaning
They're
hard
fun.
into the monk. I like it.
Gotta
We've
break
got
it
that's a
into
good blend of
stereotype.
instruments.
You gotta lean into the
Mhm.
stereotype to break it.
It was either that or a vuvuzela, and I thought that would ruin the flow. So
A kazoo.
kazoo, that would have been good. Or just a little,
A slide
I like the
whistle.
didgeridoo.
the little whistle, slide whistle.
A little
Oh yeah,
pea whistle.
slide whistle.
Yeah.
They blow bubbles.
Is it too late to change my answer to cowbell?
Recorder. Want a recorder?
Yes. No.
Like a fourth grader
Recorder.
playing a recorder, not a
Okay,
Yeah,
tell you what.
fourth grader.
Fourth
I'll make the actual song, and then give me your dumb instrument ideas. And I'll make
Yeah.
I'll make a bad version of that.
Give me a second here,
Parody
Jake.
version.
I like the sliding
The slide whistle.
whistle. I would choose that one. That's a good one.
Mhm.
That's clever.
Actually, let me write this down before I forget it all,
Okay.
because I will forget it.
Can I see the box that you have for the dice? Are they in here right now?
Yeah, they're there.
Carewellis. Well, whoa.
Wellesley. Carewelsi.
Carewelsi? Or Carewelsi?
Carewelsi. I think it's one word.
Carewell.
Harry Parch.
L-O-S-I.
I'm gonna request a Harry Parch instrument. He was the guy who made his own instruments out of stuff. He made an organ out of bamboo. Or it was marimba, sorry.
Oh, that's cool though.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
marimba
He made a lot of
is
really
so
interesting
cool.
stuff. They also had, like,
no.
different
How about
improvements.
how about we make those instruments that make you make in like preschool? It's just like 2 paper plates with a bunch of beans stapled together.
I want the rubber
tissue
band
box
guitar.
and
That's my
rubber
instrument.
bands just dun, 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 dun. You can easily
about-
what's the
Yes.
one from 5 Minute Crafts? It was the carrot that they turned into a flute.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I
How
want to
about-
try that.
What ab- Jake, is burp singing an option?
Uh,
I want the like.
I think I have a bunch of different. Actually, I have like 10 different other instruments.
What does that mean?
Gunshot, clap.
Ooh,
There's
I want to
like
be the
10
gunshot.
different things.
Nice.
I pick gunshot. That's
What
way
were you
better than
thinking, Jess?
cowbell.
which
What's
is
that?
What about those paddles that you would? They had like 2
Oh,
strings
the
on
drum,
them,
and
you
you'd
go.
like spin it, and then.
Oh
yeah,
those were dope. Those were so cool.
What about claves?
Yeah.
Those are annoying. Or a weiro. Those are fun.
Weirdos are fun.
We're weirdos. Let's start. I want to kill some hobgoblins.
Yeah, that's right. We got goblins.
Goblins.
Gosh.
Goblins.
You're gonna be very disappointed.
The
No.
flexitone.
The flexitone. Okay.
Are you guys aware of the flexitone?
Nope.
Can I go singing?
It's the
Sorry.
percussion instrument, which is like a bendable piece of
Oh.
like sheet metal
Like
with
Oh,
two
yeah.
little like red
Yeah.
things that like are springy, and then you like wave it around, and then the things
Yeah.
hit the piece of sheet metal, and then you bend the metal to change the pitch.
Yeah, what about the
That's cool.
glockenspiel? Is that an option?
Like make thunder.
Glockenspiel.
a hurdy-gurdy.
The thunder sheet.
Hurdy-gurdy. Yeah.
They
Thunder
actually
Sheet,
sound super
yes.
cool.
That sounds like a bard band name.
Hurdy-gurdy.
Hurdy-gurdies are
They're,
amazing
they're
instruments.
really cool.
Actually-
They're really
Hurdy-gurdies are
cool.
cool.
Super cool instruments.
They're so
Now,
cool.
okay, we need to do the all bard party again, and we'll call it glockenspiel.
Yes.
Or hurdy-gurdy.
Hurdy-gurdy and the glockenspiel. There you go.
Oh,
Here it
Hurdy-gurdy
is.
and the glockenspiel.
Write this down. That's
One
That's
dude with a
amazing.
hurdy-gurdy and
That's going
everyone
in
else in the
band
back
names.
just...
Oh yeah, put that in band name, Scott.
pretty. Yeah. Hold on. We need like a.
Hurdy-gurdy.
Just nat 20 an epic hurdy-gurdy solo.
Uh,
With such popular tunes, such as... Oh, it's a dragon of a task. I can't help it. That's such a great line.
It's a dragon of a task.
Cool.
Hurdy-gurdy with a U. And the glockenspiels.
My favorite instrument that when I was taking my orchestration class,
Nope.
in the actual orchestration book was a percussion instrument called the wind machine.
I.E.
I have no idea what it is.
the wind machine?
The
With a
wind
U.
machine. It looks like a giant barrel. of some
That sounds
kind.
like a this sounds like a
Yeah.
nickname
That
you'd
sounds
get.
familiar.
Yeah.
man,
Wind
the-
machine, and all you see are fans.
They call me the wind machine.
Yeah, this is it
And
was
then one of
this
the
was
other
a
voices
sound
says,
effects
"No,
device
they
they
call
used
you
in
the
like
wind
early
man."
Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Disney had 1,000 of
Nobody's
these
ever called
things.
you
They're
that,
cool as
Steve.
heck.
Do you want to know my favorite instrument I've ever seen called for in a percussion piece of sheet music,
Is it
like
the
for an
cannon?
actual like orchestral piece? Not well, the canon is one, but like that's not my favorite one. My
Mm,
favorite one
that's
is
my favorite.
Box Full of Chain.
Yay!
I think I remember that song. Wasn't that from one of those movie scores we did for Disney?
Yeah, it was. It
Yeah.
literally called for a box of chains.
That's pretty great.
What song was it for? Or what
I
villain?
don't remember.
I remember when we were in marching band, Justin
Oh my
had
god.
his box of toy
The
car,
box of toys.
and had also the piece called for Air Siren, which you
Mm.
got to play.
What?
Nice.
Air Siren, Ratchet, a bunch of different symbols.
Dude, that
He
was
had
the
a box
biggest
of
ratchet
toys.
I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, there was a piece for wind ensemble that like in the in the percussion section called for a piano.
Huh.
Not for someone to actually properly play a piano, but just to use balled fists and mash key ranges in rhythms.
That's cool.
Oh man.
Punch
Yeah.
the piano into tune
Yes,
in the rhythm.
exactly that.
That's funny. In my undergrad, I did a lot of work with like digital and recorded music, and there's a whole thing. It's really weird, of just like taking sounds like from the environment and making them into music.
Stop.
And I watched a documentary on this guy, who was like really, really big in this space. And it was like this old French dude who was just walking around a park with this ridiculous microphone set up. And he straight up was like following this woman for a while, pointing his microphone at her. And then he just told her, "You have beautiful footsteps." And that was like the intro.
That's amazing.
Did you guys ever watch
Right.
Can you
this
put
show
your knee
called
down?
Stomp? I have no room. Just move the mouse and everything that you need over. You've got so much room.
Right.
In a big chair.
We should probably start at this
It's
point.
probably so.
Probably.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I'll edit this part out.
Yeah, cut this out.
I will.
Cut this out.
Except for
Amplifies
hurdy-gurdy and the
10.
glockenspiels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for that,
No
and then just
context.
fast forward through the whole section.
Just, yep.
Well, here.
The only good part.
Here we go. All right.
All right. So you
Edited
guys,
some- Yeah. Hurdy-gurdy and the glockenspiels. Carry on.
everything on the board is where you guys were at last time. And you guys had just heard chanting and saw one of the stands go up in flames. As you see, more goblins carrying torches, setting things on fire.
Which stand?
Well,
was it?
another goblin is leading the chant. It's this one right here.
Okay, well, as
What
long as it's
color?
not the
Matters.
pastries.
Yeah, not the
Yeah.
papers.
No. Fire might spread to the pastries tent,
Oh,
but it's not
You
there.
gotta get over there,
No.
Give the
guys.
pastries.
No,
Say them.
Not the pastries.
not my funnel cake.
My pastries.
Nice, Justin.
Okay.
He
Justin?
found that.
You just called Sam Justin.
No.
Oh, that
Justin
is
responded.
amazing.
Oh.
Yeah, Justin posted something in.
Oh, I've seen that. I've seen that machine.
Oh, I love
before.
that
That thing's
thing.
so cool. That's not a hurdy-gurdy.
Oh, okay.
No.
That's a something.
That's a something.
It's
That
like,
goes
it's the
labeled under
Marvel
other.
music machine.
Yeah. It literally plays one song, but it's cool.
All
Yep.
those things. Yeah.
It could only play it like once or twice too before it shook itself apart and broke.
Mhm.
Whoa.
That's
They have a
pretty
lot
dramatic.
of different iterations of it, though.
hmm So, first up,
Anyway, yeah.
Aiden, it is your go.
Edan.
Oh wait.
I'm
Why is the pen
gonna-
over on Trent?
What do you mean?
Take the dodge
Oh, that's
feat as
it.
my
That's a
action. I am going to 2, 3, 4, 5. Just get a little closer.
Big
And stay there for a minute. Oh, Zach, you get an extra you get an extra HP.
Oh.
I just realized I have a thing that gives you 1 extra HP whenever I heal something. Anyway,
I get
yeah, that's my turn.
One temporary?
Yeah, I'm gonna. I'll. Yeah, no, you get one just extra HP.
Okay, I'm just gonna mark it as temporary.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna hang out there.
All right.
I've really got
Volette, your go.
You don't need to nudge me. I know it's my turn. I'm going to move up 5, 10, 15, 20.
Could you not get in the way? Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
Oh, okay, is that better? Okay.
Mhm.
25. All right. Okay. And I think. Yep, I'm within 30 feet of Mr. Blue. I'm just gonna say, hey, look, ooh, shiny. And I'm gonna.
It's an invisible emerald.
I'm gonna attempt to like, maybe,
Oh, jeez.
like flash my. I'm sure I've got rings on.
Oh yeah.
Flash a ring to cast Daze on Mr. Blue.
All right. I believe.
As long as he has 4 H or hit die or less,
Yeah,
it'll affect him,
much
and then
less.
he needs to do a will save.
Hitting him where it
Alright.
hurts.
Yeah. The DC is 14.
Goblins, notoriously strong-willed creatures.
Gotta say, it feels nice because I so often play a character with my dump stat as will.
Yeah.
And seeing someone else get punished for having a low will save is kind of nice.
Yeah.
As someone else who constantly has low will scores, unless I'm playing a monk. Yeah, I feel that.
Same.
I play wizards, so
See?
So wisdom is a dumb stat unless you're a monk or a cleric.
Or druid.
Or druid, yes.
Did he roll?
Good.
Did he roll wisdom or wills yet?
I hadn't yet gotten out my dice. I forgot to get them out of the box.
Okay.
That is going to be... What was the DC you said?
14.
Okay. He has a -1 to his will save. And he passed.
What jerk?
I mean, 14's not that high.
This is a
You
level
figured-
1.
You figured one of them had to save eventually.
All right. Well, okay. That's my turn.
Right. Green Goblin's turn.
The Green Goblin.
All right, this one is going to... Who is closer? Oh, that is the wrong button. It is going to charge you, Sam.
Why?
oh, thank God.
If you're closer.
Oh, attack.
You see as it running up, screaming its head off. It raises its torch, and as it comes up, it takes a swing at you.
With its torch?
No.
Yes.
Does it have the feet hit with anything? I don't know.
And that is a miss.
Yay!
Swings at you. It's very excited to try and hit you. It telegraphs its move when it's 15 feet away already. So you easily dodge it. It's your turn, actually.
Runs up to me, swings. You just punch it in the face.
Just like a reflex, like, oh.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. 17?
17 will hit.
17.
17.
take on the 4 points of damage.
Okay. This goblin runs right on up, swings, and immediately after, you just reflexively punch it. You can tell it. You heard something snap. It's in a lot of pain. It's not looking good, but still up.
Sweet.
Okay. Well, flurry of blows. I'll punch it again.
Monk
Going
speed.
anywhere.
If at first you don't succeed, flurry of blows.
Oh, I don't think
Just keep
I don't think
punching.
I hit it. 7.
There's nothing you can't punch your way out of.
They're fast little creatures.
Even when
Damn.
they're
Well,
concussed.
that's it.
All right. Trent.
I'm gonna turn to the elf next to me, stick my hand out to a handshake.
I will shake your hand.
The name's Trent. You got my back?
Nyrelion. Yeah, I do.
All right. I'm gonna charge past the green goblin
No
because
way.
Squeak looks like she's got it under control.
Oh, God.
And I will charge Mr. Blue.
All right. That will be an attack of opportunity from green.
Oh,
Okay.
right.
What's your AC?
17.
Actually, no, not even. That does not hit. 12.
Get wrecked.
Nice.
Armor class is finally working, guys.
Woo.
Okay. I will make my attack.
You killed the one goblin that was rolling really well.
I believe it's +2 to attack because I'm charging.
Yes.
That is a lot.
Whoa. Good job.
And then you'll have -2 to your AC for this next
Yeah,
turn.
that's a 26 to hit.
Yes.
Do you have
You almost.
critical range?
I
Damn.
do... Actually,
What was that? Keen?
that is a critical.
Oh my gosh, it is!
Oh!
It's a crit!
Technically, this is a scimitar, so that's a crit. I rolled an 18.
Kill it!
Crit fishing. That means you get a finesse point too, doesn't it?
I do. Well, I'm not actually.
yet.
I'm
Yeah.
not actually a swashbuckler, which is why I
Oh.
couldn't opportune
Level
parry
one.
riposte. Oh, that's a 5 and a 6.
Nice.
So
Hey.
that's gonna be 8. Doing that. 19 points of damage to this goblin.
Oh.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, you
Oh.
come up and immediately cut this thing almost clean in half.
We need
Just
to start a dead leaderboard
I know, I was just
already.
thinking that another one.
Already.
I mean, that's got to be at like, what's a goblin? -13?
yes, -13.
For a level 1. Well done. Well done. I'm glad that was a crit. Nice.
Nice.
Check it for crits.
We've both put a goblin like right down there.
I
Now.
would. I
Oh yeah, you did too.
I would
Noah.
like to
Yeah,
point
yeah.
out that these remaining 2 goblins over here just saw a man covered in his own blood run, totally ignore the goblin, and just cleave one of them in half. Who's next?
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Blue was up next.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
So much for that.
Oh, that felt good. That felt good after last session. Holy moly.
Watching one of their companions get brutally murdered, the red goblin is going to drop the torch and actually take out his dog slicer,
All right.
and he's going to run up to you.
Dog slicer.
Yeah, it's like a pole arm, I think, right?
Cutting up dogs. Slicing.
He rolled a 2.
That ain't gonna touch.
No, not at all.
Guys, I'm actually acting like a good frontline fighter.
Did it.
Woohoo. You did it. You made it.
Nyrelion.
Yes.
All right, your turn.
Would I be able to charge this line?
If you give me an acrobatics check to avoid the green goblin, yes. 'Cause you're
Instead
moving
of
through his-
acrobatics, could I give you something to try to like just muscle him out of the
Bull
like
rush
muscle
it.
him to the side?
Yeah,
That's a bull rush, yeah.
You could just attack Green Goblin.
That'd be cool.
I feel like there's gonna be a friendly competition between Trent and Nyrelion for destroying things.
Just get Green Goblin. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Because we
Yeah.
can do
Okay. I'll charge to there, and like pivot and swing at Green Goblin.
Okay.
Just imagine this like humongous cleave, like.
Yeah. After like casting a forlorn look at my armor laying in the dirt over there.
Aw. It's okay. I'm sure you don't need it.
I have 12 AC.
Who needs armor when you have plot armor?
17 to hit.
That's gonna hit and kill it.
Yeah.
As you run on up and just... This goblin is distracted by Squeak. Just does not notice you coming, and you just cut its head clean off.
Hell yeah.
Just
I forgot my name was
absentmindedly,
Squeak.
just nonchalantly, just.
Nice.
All right, the war chanter. So the goblin that's been leading this chant, the goblins have been gleefully singing this entire time. It's its turn.
Oh no!
Can I get a?
It's coming. The mouse is coming.
Oh no! Yeah, don't sing that too much of that song. We'll get
Oh, that's right. We'll get
taken down.
That's right. Sam, we played like 11 seconds of. No, it was like 4 seconds of spooky, scary skeletons.
Yeah.
And got like banned on YouTube. I had to re-edit the
Just
video.
enough for like the
yeah.
tagline, and then
Yeah.
Yep.
They don't mess around with that.
All we need to say really is Jess was right.
Trenton. Can I get a will save?
You sure can.
How'd they find that in 4 hours of footage? Let's just have like.
Just an
Algorithm.
algorithm that runs through videos. Yeah.
13.
All right. So this goblin war chanter turns to you and continues singing, dancing around, and you find it funny.
Oh no.
You burst out laughing, just a couple chuckles, but you're able to get yourself under control and you're fine.
Oh,
Good.
Ooh.
Oh.
That almost
It was a
made me
DC 12.
Oh.
That plus
Aren't we
one
blessed?
will's coming in.
Are we blessed right now? Against fear. Oh, that's against fear.
No, that was against the hideous laughter, I think.
Yeah, but no,
Mhm.
we have bless against fear.
Yes,
effects
for
right now.
fear effects, I
Yes.
think.
Aiden, it is your go.
Nothing scarier than a funny goblin.
Yeah.
Tough.
What happened?
I think he's
It's your go.
mesmerized.
Oh,
He's
Aiden's turn.
mesmerized.
Sorry.
His screen.
This is a fun game.
Whatever.
Give me a second. I gotta look something up here. Oh, I also turned you guys all the way down, so if you said anything, sorry about that.
I'm sorry,
just a
were we
mess.
annoying you?
No. I just have buttons. where
sorry to
buttons shouldn't
interrupt
be.
your quiet time.
Listen, I was having a nice peaceful thought about what feat I was gonna take. I can't talk either. I'm a mess. Okay, I am going to take a deep breath,
Meditate
cast
for a while.
the spell Fire Belly,
What?
which gives me fire resistance 5. And if anybody wants to touch my belly, it's hot, apparently.
What?
Does it actually say that?
Yeah, it does. It says my gut is hot to the touch.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
And then I'm
That's
gonna,
some serious acid reflux there.
yeah, I'm gonna step up right here.
All right.
Actually, no, I'm gonna go right there.
Cool. With that, Volette, it is your go.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and move forward just a little bit. 15. And I'm pretty sure that I'm within. Yeah. within 25 feet of Mr. War Chanter. And I'm gonna once again be like, oh look, shiny! And try to daze that one.
Okay. Which one?
The War Chanter. So
All
let's
right.
do a will save.
It fails.
Yes!
It is dazed.
It is unable
As-
to act normally. It can take no actions for 1 round.
You see it begins just stuttering, trying to keep the chant going, but it'll get through a couple of words, stop, restart the song, and it's just very choppy and broken up as it's trying to get a hold of its senses.
Sweet. That's my turn.
Green is dead. Sam.
Alright. Let's see. Green is dead. That's dope. So there's no way to get into like this little space because that's right up against the cart, huh?
You could get here.
Point that again. There. Oh, that's valid. Okay, right. Hold on. I'm rereading how this thing works. 1 second.
You're good. If you haven't noticed, we like to look up
Alright.
rules.
Yeah, I'm joining you on that front. Okay, so
part of
here's what I'm
Pathfinder.
gonna do.
The real name of the game we play is Rules
Who's
Finder.
up next?
Yes.
I'm
Rules
gonna
lawyer
move
the
up to
game.
this position here, and I'm gonna take aid another as an action.
Okay.
Right.
So I will aid Trent.
Cool.
Nice.
So first I need to roll to see if I can do it, I think. So I have to make a thing against an attack against an AC of 10.
Whoa, really? We've never done. I've never
Which-
seen
We've never really used aid
I
another in
beat.
combat, but
in combat. Nice.
Yeah, it says you must make an attack roll against an AC of 10. I rolled an 18 on the die, so I think I did that.
Yeah.
If you succeed, your friend gains either a +2 bonus on their next attack roll against that opponent, or a +2 bonus against their AC against the opponent's next attack. However, I have helpful, so that's now a +3 bonus. So I will give you a +3 to your next attack.
Oh
Nice.
my goodness. Can
And
you
that
miss
is my
this
turn.
guy at this point?
oh, don't say that. Don't say that.
Speaking of which, Trenton, your go.
Full attack.
Looks like
action.
The
Take it
curse
out.
followed up by the fulfillment.
Looks like you're next. All right.
Comes in.
That's another
Hi.
critical. I rolled another 18.
Oh my gosh. Roll your
Oh my
your-
god,
Gotta
I
love
can't do anything to
scimitars.
help you, but still.
That's amazing.
Well, I mean, you turn that from a what did I say?
Why are you
before?
changing your dice? You rolled with the other 5. The other one. Last time. Yeah.
Oh, did I?
yeah.
Okay, fine. Oh, goodness. Ooh, not as good, but it's still gonna be 17 points of damage.
17. Okay, so you swinging your sword,
Oh wait,
cut about 3/4 of the way through this goblin's head.
not 17.
Oh.
Sorry, I miscounted, but still way more than enough to kill him.
Oh yeah.
8.
And so
13.
this goblin, you with a yank pull your sword back out, and the goblin drops to the ground in a massive pool of blood.
I'm gonna turn to the. You're,
Dazed.
you're a half elf,
Oh.
Squeak.
Yes.
I'm gonna turn to the half elf next to me, stick my hand out. The name's Trent. Thanks for the help.
Oh, hi. I'm Squeak. Shakes your hand.
Adorable.
And I just give you a nod. Looks like there's only one left.
Ooh.
Oh man.
All right. I guess I will, with my movement.
I mean, it's dazed right now if you want to get
It is
flanky.
dazed?
Mhm.
Yeah, I was gonna go
You
2,
can't do nothing.
3,
That's a good spot.
and I can't. This is a tent right here, so that's where I can sit. Okay.
Yeah.
So I can give someone flanking if they get on the other side. That's my turn.
Oh look, it's Nyrelion.
Blue's
who's
dead,
next.
red dead. Nyrelion.
no,
All
it's
right.
like smiling.
Go
like,
time.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna charge this goblin,
Mhm.
cutting
Excuse
a
me,
little
pardon me.
bit through
Excuse me.
Aiden's square.
Let's go.
And once again with a pivoting turn.
This time the
Alright.
opposite
Attack.
way. You're just cleaving left and right. So cool.
And then this will have a +2 because it's a charge attack. 15 to hit.
Flanking though.
Oh yeah, sorry, 17 to hit.
That should hit.
Okay, that actually makes the difference.
Oh yeah.
You running up, going after the column. It's dazed
Boys.
with what little sense it has left. Its focus is on Trenton right now. And you just come up. What was the damage? 9?
9.
Yeah, you come up and just cleave about halfway through this goblin's chest. It is instantly dead, and it takes a couple yanks, but you get your sword out as it drops to the ground.
Good strike.
Back at you.
I'm imagining just like this, like clasp of hands. Yeah.
Over a dead goblin. Like it
Yeah.
hasn't even hit the ground yet.
Yeah, it's still falling to the ground.
Oh.
Wow.
Right. So with that, as you guys... At this point, the goblins have definitely thinned out. You've thinned their number a good bit. There's some over in attacking in Sandpoint, it looks like. A lot of the ones here are dead. But there are the occasional goblins still running around. And when you guys hear, "Help me! Oh god! Gods, please help me!" Coming from the entrance to the carnival.
No.
Uh-oh.
Can we start running? We run.
You see
There's more?
more goblins, as well as a goblin dressed heavier, stronger looking, riding a goblin dog. And currently under the feet of this goblin dog is a man yelling out for help. Very nicely dressed. You see this man.
He's invisible.
There we go.
Oh, fancy.
Nice.
You can tell just looking at him, he's a noble of some status.
Okay.
I'm just gonna look to Nyrelion.
Oh, they're
Ready for round 3?
Oh my gosh, guys.
If you are.
So many.
This is not what I was expecting was going to happen today.
No, it's even better. Let's go.
This is what we call an adventure.
Let's go. Smiling. Oh my gosh.
I accidentally deleted Edan's token. Or from the initiative.
Get wrecked.
Well,
Yeah.
you know.
I
He was right
should
before me.
describe right now, like,
Aiden's having some quiet
That's what happens
time.
when you don't have a feet.
Nyrelion has, like,
That's what happens when you don't-
Nyrelion
Yeah,
has, like, an armored skirt on, but, like, his top right now is just, like, a normal, like, cotton tunic. That is now drenched in blood.
Yeah, I was just thinking like
Oh, yeah,
when
wait,
you
you're
think-
covered in blood, right?
Both of us are.
I'm covered
No,
in
if
goblin
you
blood.
shake her
He's
hand
covered
and
in
she
his
has
own
blood on her hand,
Oh yeah.
Oh, sir,
it's
sir,
a
I think you should lie down.
it's
I
a-
think you should lie down. That's a lot.
Oh no,
That's a
no,
lot
that,
of blood.
that fellow with the
That's a
glowing
lot of
eyes.
blood.
The fellow with the glowing eyes got me.
Don't worry, I
Oh
took
my
care
god,
of
we
it.
got glowing eyes
It's
and
fine, it's
you're
fine.
bleeding.
It's all sealed up. It's fine. Look. As I'm like wiping the blood away so you can see where the wound was.
There might be some minor scarring, but I don't think it'll be.
Oh,
I know
if
there's
no
goblins,
scars, then
I'm
it's not
very-
worth it.
Is Nyrelion bleeding?
Well,
like, he's
little
so
one.
pale.
Nyrelion is
Okay.
fine. He's soaked in goblin blood
Oh,
because
oh,
he's
oh,
now
okay.
he's now completely
Literal blood.
eviscerated 4 goblins.
He's not
Meanwhile,
bleeding
he's
currently. He's
covered in
just
a mixture of
anemic.
his own blood and goblin blood.
Impressive.
It's not a current blood issue thing. It's just a hereditary disease or something.
The two of us are just absolutely a
Oh, yeah.
horror show.
All
And
right,
he's
so
probably grinning
And I
like
will say,
maniacs,
like,
too.
the blood that's not on the shirt and is actually like on his skin, like almost looks black because of like the pale undertone of his skin.
Unreal.
Step 1, you must lie the subject down. Step 2, apply tourniquet. Step 3, you must apply pressure and wait.
We don't have time.
it'll be fine. We've got a
Follow
task.
You
authorities.
might, that's all fine and well, but you might want to save that for when all the goblins are dead.
As a lifeguard, I appreciate you so much. That was amazing.
So,
WebMD up.
oh my gosh.
And next you're gonna tell us that we have
WebMD
we have
up.
leukemia. Like, well, these are all
Yes.
signs of leukemia.
Oh my gosh.
Exactly.
Excessive bleeding, you must be hemophiliac.
Ah! Panic, I think you've got stomach cancer.
Whoa, your stomach
Oh,
is hot
no.
to the touch.
I also have
think
the
you
Mayo
might have a
Clinic
really
up, too.
serious ulcer.
I have a weird question.
Oh boy. Okay, go.
Those are the best kind.
I guess it's probably not going to matter anyway. These guys are so far away that it doesn't even matter. Yeah, no. I guess I'm just going to move this round. 25.
Nyrelion,
Yeah.
how much do you want your cloak, your coat?
It would be nice to have.
Okay, because I could go get it for you. But
That would be great.
okay, because I'll do that. You see me kind of being like, I see you eyeing that. I'm closer. I'll get it.
Volette,
be
it is
fun.
your turn.
Oh, wait. I might actually just, like, try to draw some of these goblins off.
I'm gonna move 15 feet. I'm gonna pick up an armored coat. Can
Yep,
I move
you got your.
still after item interaction? In Pathfinder? Am I able to keep moving, Jake?
I'll say yes to this one because it's just picking up a coat off the ground.
I do feel the need to ask a question.
What?
What's your carrying capacity?
Oh, no.
Crap! Oh no!
Just dragging it along the ground.
Yeah, I could drag, right? Hold on. Okay. I can carry up to 40, or sorry. A heavy is 87.
What's your medium?
57.
Okay, this weighs 20 pounds.
I'm not medium. It's still good.
Nice.
And I'm carrying all my stuff. I'm at 44. We're good. We're 45. Yeah, we're good. We're good. All right, I'm gonna pick this up. So I moved 15. I'm gonna move 20, and then I'm gonna use my action to keep moving. So 5, 10, 15, 20. I'm coming if you just run. Turn. Small bird. Also try to figure out my
Where's
accent.
that?
So it's not there tonight.
I will mark
You're
these.
pink,
goblins.
right?
What? I'm violet.
Are you pink?
I'm
You're
purple.
violet.
I'm violet.
Violet, you're turning violet.
A lightish pink.
Turning violet, violet.
Purplish.
It's like a lavender skin tone.
Pinkish,
Yeah.
purplish, reddish,
yeah,
light reddish,
it's-
pinkish,
it's
magenta.
like-
Slightly pinker than lavender.
Yeah, I'd say that. Where it's just like, that's an interesting shade. You're like, it's pretty, but it's weird.
Lilac.
That's not a person.
Lilac.
Lilac?
Yeah.
Another flower.
All right.
Chartreuse.
This
What is
goblin.
that?
Oh,
Chartreuse
It's gonna
is like
I think it's green, isn't
yellow
it?
green, like
This is
bright
green.
neon yellow green. Chartreuse is like
It's gonna
chartreuse is
attack me?
super highly saturated, but it's like the midpoint between yellow and green.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, that's gonna
Lilac
miss,
is actually
definitely.
a really good descriptor for
Ha.
that color.
The same thing comes running up. You
Lilac.
see it coming from a mile away, and you can easily just jump back by a few inches.
Ooh, just a bit short.
Lavender's not too bad.
Squeak.
Mauve. I liked it.
Jeez.
Mauve, yeah.
Mauve, maybe?
All right.
See, this one's mauve. Or bright.
Eventually, you'll have your monk movement, and you can make this.
Yes, I will eventually one day.
Did you know that the color of your skin sort of gives off the idea that you might have an issue with not enough oxygen in your blood? You might want to get that looked at.
I did not know. Oh no.
I've been holding my breath this whole time.
She just like gives you with her like
So
bright
is it
eyes like, what?
double speed or is it what? It's times 3 or just 2?
For charge,
Just
it's
do-
I don't know what the
times.
difference is.
Or just
you-
two
It's
times.
just 2
If you
times.
use your full turn to run, it's 4 times.
Yeah. Which you should do. Just
It does
But when you
have to
charge,
be-
it does
Thinking
have
I
to be in a
might.
straight line.
It has to be in a straight line.
It
Yeah.
has to be straight. Well, I can still do. I run right through you. I mean, I'll get to here. That's
Yeah.
fine.
You have to. The last 20 feet to your target have to be in a straight line. So
That's
up to
can
20
I do
feet,
that?
Nice.
or at least 20 feet, I should say. So yes, you can.
At least 20 feet for.
So like when you
Oh, I
charge
The last
something,
20 feet.
yeah, the last 20 feet have to be in a straight line.
Hey, whoa, wait a minute. You
Got it.
don't want to charge me.
No.
I'm
I
just
was just
teasing. You're
getting distance. Okay, so I'll hang out here.
No. Enter party conflict immediately. Let's do this.
Level 1.
A man with glowing eyes killed my
Yeah.
father. Pop.
Aiden, I don't like your chances.
You read my backstory.
That's right.
Yeah, that's my turn.
She's the BBGR.
What was your attack roll?
I thought I did my whole turn to move.
When you
That
make
was the
a
whole turn,
charge
wasn't it?
attack, you get to make an attack at the end of it. You just take a penalty
Mhm.
to your
Oh.
armor class for the next turn.
Yeah, you get a +2 to hit, but a -2 to your AC for the next round.
Worth it.
Oh, I didn't know that was a
Quite
thing.
nice.
Okay.
Yep.
This is
I
a very
just
different.
Imagine
very
this
fun
like,
game.
It's different.
It's so
kung fu
different.
movie
But
type,
once you
like
learn these little
charging
things-
with a fist.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like an anime.
Yeah,
It's like all
just
like
like-
blurry background. Just
Plus
Get a
two.
+2.
+2.
+2
Yeah.
to the attack.
And this was the system we started with.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
we didn't get a nice 5e introduction.
Oh no.
Was
Just-
5e out
18?
then?
18 will hit.
18
just
will hit.
It wasn't.
right to
And that's
the
just
bottom.
the
It
standard
was like
damage.
2
plus,
years,
is
I
that
think,
still
before.
plus that too?
What was that?
Is that also +2 also go to damage, or
Just
that's
the
Yeah,
just
it's just
Um,
a hit?
Just the attack.
Ah, fuck yeah, min damage. 2.
Minimum.
2 damage.
2
you come up
damage.
and catch this goblin straight in the chest with a kick, but you managed to catch it when it was slightly turned and straight into the armor piece it's wearing. So the impact doesn't feel nearly as strong.
Hi there. Oh, your eyes. Oh my gosh.
Oh, dumb.
All of us have something wrong with
Thanks
us.
for the
oh
assistance.
He's like, you think that's weird? You should feel my belly.
We should do that. You're like,
Squeak's gonna have to, like, after this whole thing, Squeak's just gonna have to keep a journal of what's normal for the party
that's
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
and what to not look for.
Yeah.
When we actually have the party together, Squeak's like major motivation is to be like, I need to figure out how all these people are still alive.
Yeah,
How is that
right.
alive? She has no oxygen in her blood. He might have pink eye. This one is dead.
You've got
Pink eye.
at least 3 clinical
For issues with red eye, allergies, conjunctivitis.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
One of us doesn't have any blood. The other one has no
Yeah.
oxygen
No,
in
you
their
should
blood.
you should look up
One of us
causes
is covered
like,
in blood, and the other one might bleed from his eyes.
instead of looking up eye color because his eyes are like fiery like stuff. You should say we should look up like burning eyes,
Yeah.
burning sensation in eyes.
They're not burning. Don't worry. It's all.
Same symptoms. All the
Oh,
same.
Yeah.
All the same.
Oh.
It's pretty great.
So don't worry. I'm just very drunk.
Let's see.
All right, Trenton, is your turn.
Oh.
Look at you go. You can run through that way. Yeah. You can get there.
I could charge this guy too.
Yeah. Do
You
it.
could.
Dylan.
It's
Oh my
amazing.
gosh.
Full party charge.
Do it.
All right. As I run by Nyrelion, I'm gonna pat you on the back, like at it again. Trent's a very friendly guy.
Oh,
I'm gonna run to right here,
Oh my gosh.
and I'm gonna make my attack. Oh, almost another critical.
Good dice
Natural
tonight.
17.
Good dice tonight.
Yeah, that's
That
been
would've been so
an 18
great.
and 18 and a 17. So 19, 25 to hit.
25 will hit.
Oh, min damage 5.
I think it's been hit though, so you might kill it. It still only counts as 1. Guys, keep a tally of how many things you kill.
That's what
It's like
happens
having
when
2
you don't
oxes
have a
in the
beat.
in the
Nice.
party now.
oh
Like
boy.
having 2 oxes in the party. No,
I'm
it's
not
like
one of
just
them.
having a functional party that
That's
has
true.
an actual frontline fighter.
True. 2.
Hey,
3,
that's an
2,
idea.
3 of them. 3 of them.
Frontline does
What's
not
the
fall
concept?
just one person.
Katarina.
But right up
Katarina
front, no.
tanked better than anybody.
Katarina
honestly.
was
Yeah.
built to tank, and tank she did.
That was 5 damage if you didn't catch that.
Okay, yeah, it had 4 hit points left. So, Squeak, you come right up. As you come charging up, hitting it with a kick in the chest. Immediately followed, you hear a sort of whistle over your head and then down. As right where you kicked, a blade just immediately hits the same area.
I swoon.
Goblin goes down in a pool of blood.
I scream.
It's a pretty good team.
There's and then
Yeah, pretty
And
much.
then Trent's just like, what?
What is wrong with this thing?
Anyway, he says to you, Squeak, we make a pretty good team.
Yes. I'm very nervous.
Still covered in blood.
Yeah.
I'm sure we do.
All right, that's turn.
Blue's turn. And it's gonna charge you, Trenton. It is going to miss. The goblins were rolling so well last time.
How the turns table.
Next up is Red, who is going to charge. Person is dead right there. Gonna charge Edan again.
bring it.
Ooh, you shouldn't have said that.
Big
I was
crit.
about to say
Bring
that.
it!
Oh,
3.
Like all that confidence.
3. I rolled a 3.
Yeah, no, it would.
Ah,
it
darn, that
misses
hits.
horribly.
I opted for the reverse AC option on Aiden.
That's what happens when you don't take a feat.
Yeah.
oh, you
Yeah.
mean Thaco?
Yeah, basically, it's that guy. Yeah, when you don't take a feat, your AC is automatically 1, and you talk like a baby.
Oh.
Oh my god.
And you swoon.
Have any of you guys ever played with Thaco? It's 2-hit AC 0. AC, like, the lower it is, the better.
It's weird.
It's weird. It's an AD&D thing.
Oh.
I remember we tried AD&D for Tomb of Horrors and we just gave up. We're like,
I would
this
love
is
to try it
so
again.
Complex.
We really should try it at some
We
point.
could,
It's good.
yeah, we could.
No one's played it now.
I've
You
played
can
it.
be
I
our
haven't
spirit
undertaken
guide.
any rules.
Maybe a different one
With
shot,
that.
not Tomb of Horrors.
Not.
No,
Not
no,
Tomb
no.
of Horrors.
Definitely
No,
not.
definitely
Guy's
not.
magic says you're dead.
Yeah. Rock
Seen-
fall. You're just dead. Yep.
Seeing multiple goblins dead and now you coming after its own people, you see the goblin commando riding this dog is gonna charge up right here and go after Squeak.
Don't worry, I've got it.
Why?
Their tokens, they're in the same spot, but their
No, they're not.
tokens are there.
No, they're not. They're two separate places.
Goblin dog is
Therefore
just
cannot
holding-
make a
or
mess
the-
against me.
Goblin is just holding onto the goblin dog's tail, like bouncing along behind.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Like he's jet skiing.
I'd like
Goblin
to
dog.
imagine It's like this
Understand.
ramshackle chariot.
It's like a milk carton with wheels.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
On a
like a
busted
poorly made
scooter.
soapbox racer pulled by a dog.
that's amazing.
One of the wheels like just falls off as it's
Oh
rolling.
my gosh.
Fucking chariot dogs.
Yeah.
Oh man. How did Critical Role get that Amazon series? I feel like we could we could work something out.
We could do it.
Oh.
For real.
Oh my gosh.
All right. So Goblin Commando's gonna get a swing at you. The dog will attack as normal,
Oh.
so only
right.
one gets the charge.
Ew.
What's your AC?
17.
All right, that is a
AC
miss.
buddies.
As this goblin riding up swings right at you, barely missing you, inches from you. As the goblin dog then gets its attack as it tries to bite you.
you're gonna get bit, and then you're gonna be like, "Oh no, I probably have rabies."
No, no.
Hey, dog my throat. Very
Goblin
often
rabies.
infectious.
Goblin
Yes.
rabies.
That is a 14, so that is gonna miss.
I will miss. Oh, thank gosh.
Mhm.
Oh, it was close.
So yeah, that's right in front of you now.
Here's a build idea: is that you've got a mount, but you've like laced its mouth with poison, so when it bites, it infects.
That could be
Just
good.
It would die, but
Get
you
a
know,
get a mount
yeah.
that get a mount that has poison.
Viper.
Get a
Like a
Gila
robot.
monster mount.
Oh yeah, or
Or Komodo
Oh.
dragon
Gila
mount.
monster.
Komodo
Komodo
dragon
dragon.
mount.
Dragon.
That'd be cool.
That'd be badass.
That would be sweet.
Yeah,
That
so
would be-
Nyrelion
That would be cool.
is
would be
going to
really
like
rude
backwards
because it would
jog back to
disease.
Squeak.
Yeah.
Thank you for fetching that. You're an absolute dear. He's gonna grab the armor from you
Yes. Oh.
and then jog 15 feet back, and then use his. He did that with a standard action move, and then he's gonna use his move action to put on the armor.
Okay.
It's gonna be all sticky on the inside now.
You can wash
Because of all
that.
the blood.
I hope someone knows
I think
prestidigitation.
there's a pool or something nearby. There's a river.
There's a
Aiden.
hagfish
There's a
tank.
river.
It is Aiden. Go.
Bobbing for
Aiden?
apples.
Well,
Blood will just
take a second. He's just gonna, and then fire.
What?
Higher belly.
Oh, that's what that was for.
God. Oh
this,
no.
I believe is.
What's Squeak gonna say?
Oh gosh.
Reflex.
How am I gonna Google this? Yeah.
I feel like a main running joke of this campaign is gonna be finding ways to horrify Squeak.
16.
16. That'd probably pass. It's a 15-foot cone, so it's probably gonna get. If I can, I'm gonna try to get everybody I can here.
You take a 5-foot step and then shoot it that way.
Yeah,
if you took
if
a
I
5-foot
can-
step, you can put
No,
him.
Over
5
what?
foot
To
Or
to
like
the,
over
to
the
the right of the
Yeah,
red guy.
and then yeah.
Actually,
Yep.
I'd go right.
That hits all
I'd
of
go
them.
right here.
Oh yeah, no going
I'd
right.
go right
Oh
here.
yeah, that's
No, that's he
No,
wants
no,
to be
no, that'll
no.
hit
He wants
Squeak.
to be in that because then he'll hit Trent actually.
No,
yeah.
because it's like a
No.
right here.
15.
Right here is good because it'll hit it,
90
and
angle.
There's 2 ways to do cones.
Oh, okay. Whatever way.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this way does it like this.
Sweet.
Okay.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
works.
Ah.
So yeah,
Dang,
they're
that
all
helps
gonna
so
need to
much.
make reflex saves actually.
All right.
Roll 20 should have like a cone.
No.
Red Goblin
That would be
made it.
nice. Okay.
Green
let me tell
Goblin
you what
made it. Or Blue Goblin made it.
Let me tell you what the
Roll
DC
20
is
could
here.
be so much more. It really could.
The Goblin Dog rolled a natural 19.
That probably made it.
And the Commando, also natural 19.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Well,
I guess
yeah,
I'm gonna
that
go
was
with
a-
that.
You just targeted their strongest save.
Yeah.
They only have a +2. They rolled a 14, 17, 19, 19.
Wow.
Jeez.
Okay. They just.
Okay. Well,
Now they're
I'll,
rolling well.
I'll be back tomorrow, I
They
guess,
can-
guys.
Is that do they take half or is
Yeah,
that? Just
Yeah, they take
limited?
half.
That's might be enough.
Oh, it's half of 4, so they all take 2. That's something.
That's
Yay!
But it did it to a bunch of them. So.
crispy. Oh.
Yeah.
I forgot. Well, it hasn't mattered. When I land critical with a scimitar, I do extra fire damage.
Oh, but you've been
Oh.
killing them. So
But
much.
I've just been killing them outright, so it doesn't even matter.
Good to know, though. It's okay. Still learning our.
Well, that wasn't quite as spectacular as I thought it would be.
It's a free cremation. Hey!
Volette, your turn.
Amazing.
That was really morbid.
20
Not
to
as-
move there.
Not as morbid as us driving by a crematory and just misreading the sign as creamery.
Oh no!
Every time we drive
What
by
is this
it,
ice
Yum.
cream taste so
oh,
bad?
say, look, there's the.
Does
there's
ice
the
cream
creamery.
taste like ash to you?
Yeah, they were hiring the other day.
Could you imagine you walk in
Grandma?
and you just ask for a double scoop?
God, that's
You just like look around.
Oh,
You guys
that's
don't have a
awful.
waffle cone?
Sorry.
These are really ornate ice cream glasses.
Can I have a cherry on top of mine?
And you blend it like a milkshake? Add half a banana.
How much is chocolate?
Oh, you guys don't have worms? Are you out?
Can I add hot fudge to mine?
Jesus.
Oh.
I'll be right back.
Can I get extra sprinkles?
You have a dairy-free option.
Do you have a vegan option?
Well, there's a
That's
couple
my turn.
trip to hell for the session.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Oh yeah, no, Nyrelion hasn't been injured or anything, right?
I think.
No, he's not.
I think
I
I'm
do
the
wanna
only
say-
one who's actually taken damage. And I'm only one off max.
No, that does actually remind me. Not crematorium, but cemetery. So there is. When Cole and I'm helping Cole move down to Texas. There's a cemetery in the city, and it was something like IOOF cemetery. It was some sort of like a society, international something fraternity. And reading it, no idea what the acronym was for. No idea what it meant. All I could think of was, "Oof, you dead, cemetery."
Oof.
Nice. Oof, you dead.
Oof, cemetery.
Get wrecked.
Oh no.
Oh.
I'd love to get buried in a cemetery that's just, "Oof, you dead,
Oof.
cemetery."
I want to open a cemetery that's just for like the most embarrassing deaths now.
Crit
Just like,
fail cemetery.
yeah,
The
exactly.
Darwin Awards.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like,
Yep, slipped in the tub.
yeah, basically. That's what it's
Right.
No, slipping
Very
in the tub,
anticlimactic.
that happens. Darwin Awards is like you did something
Darwin is different.
unbelievably
The
stupid.
actually stupid, yeah.
Went to
Yeah.
space, took off your helmet. To see what
Skydiving,
would
forgot a
happen.
parachute.
Like hooked yourself
Yeah.
up to a car battery just to see what it would do. Kind of stupid.
Yeah. That's my turn.
All right. Green is dead. Squeak.
Green
perfect
was dead
timing.
To begin with.
Okay, so which one? So I'm sorry. Which ones aren't looking or have been hit?
They've all been burned.
They've all been
They've all
lightly
been
roasted.
burned.
The only goblin that's been hit so far
Yeah.
down here is currently on the ground dead.
The one that was in front of you is now got another one in it.
Yeah.
The
it's
dog.
Hey,
now
wait a
has
minute.
the other
They all
dude on
took
top
2
of it.
fire
The
damage.
dog.
No, yeah, we said they all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Jake
All
just
been
said
burned.
the only ones that have been hit are dead.
Oh, right.
So I was like,
Okay.
real quick. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna. I'll punch the lower thing. Punch that thing. Actually,
Dog?
no. There's the what's it called on top? The commando's on top. I can still hit him, right? He's
Yes.
like,
Oh yeah,
I'll punch him.
sitting on top of this large goblin dog. He's about eye level with you now.
Hmm.
Like
Together they create
a small creature riding a small creature.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm now a medium creature.
And if you yell,
This dragon.
punch him in the face.
What Jake didn't say is that goblin dog is actually 2 goblins in a goblin dog costume.
Nice.
There it is.
Hey,
Would not surprise me.
16.
Wait a minute. Does that mean one of them's like got its legs in the air?
Against the commando?
Yeah.
That is a miss. You
That's a
come
miss.
up and just swinging. This goblin has better armor than the other goblins. There's actually pieces of metal, various like scrap metal. It's better armor definitely, but still dismayed.
Okay. I'll use my flurry of blows. I'm standing
All
there,
right.
I'll punch him in the face. Yeah. Scrub. Can I make this a stunning fist or no?
I believe you can.
Yes, you can.
I'll try it. But first I have to hit, so I guess let's see what happens.
Yeah, you can choose to do that after you hit. I believe.
Yes. Yes,
Mhm.
you
Jesus
can.
Christ. Oh, that'll hit. It's a 19 on the die.
Ooh.
Oh, that'll hit.
So 20
Done that fist.
something. Alright, so he has to make a DC 14 check against I don't know what.
it's
It just says
fortitude.
DC 14.
Fortitude, I believe.
Oh, fortitude.
Fortitude. Yeah, it's fortitude.
Most likely.
Makes me wonder what happens to something that's stunned that's also riding an animal.
19.
Oh shit.
Dang.
Oh, never mind.
Never mind, we won't find the
That
answer to
question
that
doesn't
question.
need to be answered.
This
The
goblin
world
is
never
competent.
Fine. 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
6
Okay.
points of
Oof.
punch damage.
Yeah, no,
6
even
points
of
of
ouch.
fist.
even still, not stunned, but still not looking good now.
That's my turn.
Trenton, it is your go.
What I wouldn't give for cleave right now.
Next feat.
Right.
I'm gonna step right here, and I'm gonna make an attack on blue with flanking.
Okay.
Is that an attack of opportunity from the dog, though?
No, he wasn't.
Oh, actually, it would have.
Oh,
been.
that would be.
Yes, because you were staying right in front of me.
Yeah.
You could take
You know
one
what?
5-foot
The
step.
dog
now.
and the commando.
You
The
could just
dog-
take 5-foot step now and then another 5-foot step next turn.
Nah, it's. I don't think it's that worth it. I'll attack. I'll attack the dog.
Okay.
That's an 18. Another critical.
Let's
Oh my
go.
gosh.
But
Oh my
what's
gosh.
the total?
The total is gonna be 24.
Okay. Goblin Commando is going to use his mounted combat ability to make a ride check.
Just-
Still not enough. That was a 16.
I was about
So
to
you
say,
do hit.
24 is gonna be tough to beat.
You see him yank the dog and try to get it out of the way of the attack, but not fast enough.
Got it. Okay. Now I'm remembering. This is gonna deal 2 additional points of fire damage because of throwing my dice on the ground.
That food looks amazing, Sam. What'd you get?
Where did that go?
Looks
Peter
like
bread. We know that
shrimp.
much.
Greek. Woo! Falafel bowl.
Is
Nice.
that like a waffle?
Falafel is chickpeas
Mhm.
that are like mashed up and turned into little patties.
It's very, very
Right.
good.
It's fucking
Very good.
fantastic.
Total of
Mhm.
17 points of slashing, 2 points of fire.
All right. So you,
Killing.
I'm just
and
double
the
checking
Goblin
to make
Slayer.
sure. Yeah, no, definitely. Seeing this goblin dog come up, Squeak goes after the goblin, gets in a really good hit, and while it's distracted for a second, you swing down and cut off the head of this goblin dog.
Yay.
Are we doing anything for dinner?
Ding dong, the dog is dead.
The dog, now dead underneath the goblin commando, he's gonna have to.
Let's wait until I come out.
Okay, yeah, the goblin. When the dog falls, he manages to stay on his feet. Even though now there's 2 dead bodies under his feet.
That's hilarious. So is he still super tall?
He is about 4 feet now.
Nice.
Oh man. That's a tall goblin though.
That is.
It's kind of freaky.
Blue's gonna go.
Let's keep this going. You give him a punch, I'll give him the blade.
Nice.
That is a miss.
Alright.
Red, still going with Edan after the fire breath.
Hey.
What's your AC?
19.
Dang. Nice.
Yeah, no, that missed.
This is the beauty of being a divine caster.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting to wear armor. Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, and look, you
And use
cleared
a
Nice
shield.
little spot for Nyrelion to run in and
Mhm.
get a nice chop in.
All right. So Goblin Commando is gonna attack you, Squeak. After, even though the dog is taken out, you're the one who punched him and fucked him up.
This is why violence is not the answer.
It's a question.
Oh, don't
We don't
worry,
know,
it's
it
not
might
helping this
miss.
goblin for it. It missed.
Yeah, see, violence is
Ew.
the answer.
You know, no
Violence
one
is the answer, but only
Violence
very,
is the
very
answer if
poorly
you one
attempted.
punch it.
Violence is the answer as
Yeah.
long as you're better at it.
as long as you're
I
the
love
best
that.
at it. You know,
The best
knowing is
at it.
half the battle, and the other half is lots and lots of
What if these
violence.
goblins?
Nyrelion.
Nyrelion is going to charge in, like and then with a small pivot and his blade over his shoulder angled down, slice up at the goblin commander.
Okay.
Add 2 to this for the charge. 19 to hit.
How do you want to do this?
So yeah, with that pivot turn and upward slice, basically just completely taking this goblin's right arm off.
Right. You come up swinging, cutting off right at the shoulder. It's at this point it's been punched, beaten. Now massive blood loss. The goblin stands up for just a couple more seconds before falling down and joining now the pile of bodies.
Oh my gosh.
2 goblins and a goblin dog just.
Yeah.
We're surrounded by
No,
death
goblins,
and
yeah.
blood. This
Yeah.
is not good.
Just sandwich-
Question: is there blood everywhere?
Yeah, Aiden's just gonna look at all you guys.
At this point,
Oh,
yes.
Covered in blood. This is horrifying.
I'm not.
You and me, Volette. We'll stay together. We don't need.
She looks perfect. Not a single drop.
Edan.
I mean,
She's not so.
at least we don't have a serious case of acid reflux.
Mhm.
You want some Tums?
So what is Edan doing?
I'm feeling better now. Aiden is going to. You know what? Aiden, seeing as the goblin and the dog are both dead now, is gonna go right here, and take a total defense action.
Okay.
I don't know if we've actually ever done that yet, but
It's very uncommon.
it is.
Look at us. Same combat, we get an 8 another and a total defense action.
I know.
And a
How
How do you
many
know it's a
charges?
new party?
Yeah, I know. We're all of a sudden synergizing very well with each
Mhm.
other.
We've tactically handled this fight very well as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mhm.
almost like the party comp is balanced.
Hey.
And we're paying attention to tactics.
So yes, you gain +4 dodge to your AC for 1 round.
You're unhittable now.
And it's a 23. It could happen.
20 at level 1.
I don't need those tabs anymore.
Against a CR 1/2.
Yeah.
It could crit. I'm not jinxing
That's,
myself.
it's happened before.
Ah.
It's happened before.
Volette.
Okay, Volette's gonna pull out a gold coin, and she's gonna yoo-hoo, and look at the red one. Dazed once more. Needs to make a roll save.
That is a fail.
Oh,
It's
nice.
dazed. I can't
That's
take
the
any
trick.
actions.
Dazed
It's
and
the yoo-hoo that does it.
It's my turn.
It's the yoo-hoo.
Yoo-hoo, big summer blowout.
Oh, that's right.
On a sunball of my own creation.
Similar as earlier, it's looking around, it's kind of half swinging out, but every time it moves or something, it pauses and reevaluates everything it's doing, basically.
I'd like to imagine this goblin is having a serious shell shock PTSD. The trees are talking kind of moment.
This is its D-Day.
Yeah, basically.
But hey, there's a shiny gold coin I could get. It's just dazed. Green is dead.
All 3 of them.
All 3 greens.
It just
quickly reading
can't take
something.
actions.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
It's not helpless though.
Correct. And nothing happens to its AC. But if it's
Okay.
not going to provoke attack of if you move away from it, no attack of opportunities.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Green is dead.
Just
Squeak.
a really mean thing to do at low level.
Yep.
She is covered in blood.
Hard.
She is surrounded by dead bodies, and one man covered in blood and one with his eyes
You're not
burning out of his
surrounded,
head,
they're
and
just
the
all in
dead
front
one
of you.
just showed back up again.
Yeah, the dead one came in and killed another one of the goblins.
The dead one came back. I'll take my first strike against blue. I'll just go cross over, just punch.
Nice.
Wait, that one's mine.
I'm so sick of this. Get out of my way.
I imagine this is gonna be like a Zumba video or something where it's just punch to the right, punch to the left.
That's basically what she's doing, yeah.
Oh my god.
17 to hit.
Oh my gosh.
That'll
Keep up
hit.
the energy, guys.
Now I want to make a monk who learned all of the
5,
moves from
21
Tybo.
to
That info.
A Zumba monk.
And catching this goblin straight in the side of his head, you knock it straight to the ground and it does not get up.
It's got sweatbands.
Warrior blood is also same cross, other way. Punch the other one.
P90X monk.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
Body
those info.
combat monk.
those
Natural
info
20.
miracles from, like, the 80s.
Oh my gosh,
Okay.
Let's go.
So, punching the first goblin in the side of the head,
Zumba style.
knocking it down and completely out. Same exactly mirrored move. Punch the second goblin. This goblin goes tumbling 5 feet and then just stops.
Into Aiden.
Very impressive.
Everyone, please just lie down. This is very stressful.
Just stop fighting.
Oh, yeah.
With that, we are out of combat. You see the last little remnants of the goblins that are remaining are seeing their commando dead and a lot of other goblins dead start running back off into the forest.
Is everyone alright? Does anybody need any help?
Tip top. Thanks for what you did earlier. Hadn't gotten
Oh, you're
warmed
very
up yet.
welcome. Oh, it looked like you needed a little assistance, but
I appreciated it.
you bounced back in a major way.
Yeah, as you guys
I want to make
looking
sure
around
no
and
one is
calming,
bleeding.
Oh, it just
Um,
got a little bit of a cut. Still, that's fine.
you actually see and hear this man who was under the goblin dog earlier.
Oh,
Gets
Yeah,
up,
is he okay?
dusts himself off, and comes on over. Little shaken, but no visible wounds, thankfully. Well, I got to say that was a mighty fine show there. Looking at you, Squeak, that was good. Old 1-2 is always reliable. That one, but
why are you standing? You were just trampled by a dog. Please, can you lie down? Why is everyone standing? Sitting up.
thankfully I'm fine. You got to me in time. It's. Whew.
Ah, you got lucky on that one.
My name is Alderaan Foxglove. I'm gonna be in town for a few days, staying at the Rusty Dragon. If you ever stop by there, well, say hello. I'd love to catch up and talk with you more, and even a chance to reward you for what you've done. But
Alden, name's Trenton.
Thank you.
Glad we could help. I'm gonna wipe my hand on my clothes, which doesn't help at all, and then shake his hand if he wants to.
he will go on. He will shake his hand, and then pulling back, he'll pull out a handkerchief and wipe off his hand.
Oh, sorry about that.
That's quite all right. Quite all right.
It's not going
It's
to
been-
be enough. You're going to need to use soap and water. Soap.
Oh,
Go
trust
get
me.
soap.
Soap. Right here, you can borrow mine.
Oh my gosh.
She does have some in her pouch on her belt. She needs some soap.
Oh,
But yes,
I think
we'll
there's a
we'll
pocket
talk
of
later.
water.
Oh, is everything still on fire?
The fires that are being put out now that it's calmed
Oh.
down a bit. The circus people are getting on it and putting out fires and doing damage control. Well, I got to say that was something to watch. Like I said, come by the Rusty Dragon later. We'll talk more. I'd love to talk more and just have a chance to reward you properly and thank you properly. But good day to you. And you will turn around and go back off into Sandpoint. And my voice
Nice.
is kind of hurting now.
Yeah, from that. Yeah.
He's the voice I've been waiting to do for a long time.
That's a good one.
You guys think the pastry stand is still open?
I'd
I
say
worked up a bit of an appetite.
they might even free.
Well, if no one's there,
If
I'll
you
just leave some
leverage
change.
it's
No one,
worth looking at,
no
that's
one
for
should
sure.
consume food until your hands are clean. That's not clean. No, that's not clean at all.
Uh,
Oh, gosh.
Nyrelion will pull out a cloth and start like cleaning the blood off of his sword blade.
Yeah, I'll wipe mine off on one of the goblin, like a rag from one of the goblins.
You all are quite covered, aren't you? I'm just looking
Two
at the
baths
three
in
of
one
you.
day. Oh,
Do
joy.
you want anyone need a hand?
Oh, I've already got 2.
There's a bunch of hands right here.
Yeah. Volette's
Oh.
gonna use Mage Hand and pick one of those up. The one that Nyrelion cut off.
Oh man.
Need a hand?
Oh,
Goblin arm just.
yep.
Does anyone need a hand? Because I got one.
Thanks again
Start
for
making, like,
catching that armor.
Oh no.
No problem.
Looking around, Jake, does anybody need any help?
Yeah.
Roll perception.
There.
Can I also look
Ooh.
around?
Yes.
Big numbers. I'll tell you what that big number is here in a minute.
Is it at least double digits?
It is. It's a 22.
Ooh, that is a big number.
Yeah. Hey,
23.
Oh, one upped you.
Well, okay. I guess I'll come back next week.
That's what happens when you don't take a feat.
I did.
So
take
yeah,
a
you
peek.
see there's people,
I found one.
the one who are, some of them are injured. Some of them are, the fires at this point have been put out. But they're taking down the stands because obviously they won't stand on their own. But there's a lot of cleanup and tending to the wounded, or some even dead.
Wounded.
Yeah, if there's people that are wounded, I've got one cast of Cure Light Wounds left. I'll try to give it to someone who needs it.
Right. As you guys are helping people, coming up to you, Nyrelion and Trenton. You see 2 people coming in, walking up to you. First person, you recognize as Emiko Kaijitsu, the bar owner that you've met earlier. The other, you have not met before. Kind of middle-aged man dressed in very heavy armor, carrying a large broadsword at his side. And both of them
Like
swords
he
drawn.
used it on goblins.
Oh
Oh,
yes.
good. Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
Respect.
There's his legs at least are covered in goblin blood. As he's
Oh yeah,
they come over.
Nyrelion has taken his coat off again.
All right. Yes, they come over. They say, seeing you 2 go. Are there any left over here? We cleared up the ones in the town for the most part, and well, figured the carnival would be under attack.
Nope. All
Yep.
clear here.
We got all the ones we could find.
It looks like most of all the fires are put out too.
All right. Sheriff Hemlock, by the way.
Trent.
I'm
Trent Treadwell.
Nyrelion.
good to meet you. I'm in charge of the guard security here. I'd like to talk with you more later, get more of what you saw of the goblin attack. But for right now, tend to what you need to. It doesn't look like there's any goblins left at all now, thankfully.
Well, if you're looking for us later, staying at the Rusty Dragon. You can find me there.
Speaking of which, Emiko will go. Thank you for your help over here. Your rooms are on me for the next week.
Oh, thank you. That's kind of you.
Looking over at you, Squeak, and you, Edan, because you're still not too far away. She'll look at you 2 and go, yell out to you, just, hey, you 2 as well. Seeing you helped out in that last bit. Room's on me for the next week.
It's
The
very
Rusty
kind
Dragon.
of you.
And with that, they'll head back off into Sandpoint.
I suppose I might have to consider switching inns then.
It's a cozy place. Good food.
No, I've been eating there. I've been staying in the White Deer, though. It's a bit nicer for accommodations. positive
You
10
happen to
down.
have a bath?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I
no.
suppose that might be in order. Or if there's like
Yes.
a river. Or
We do
something.
have 2 baths
There's
at the White
River.
Deer.
Gibbs? Please.
I'll start the water
Please.
boiling.
Thank you.
So yeah, you guys helping out. Squeak, go ahead and give me a heal check as you're helping to all these wounded. These goblin swords were nasty work. Jagged edges, so a lot of the cuts are not clean. They're very probably going to be infected if not cleaned out.
26.
26, yeah, you making quick work of everything. Just
Ew,
going
that's
through
all
them
I do.
like clockwork. Seeing the patient, seeing where they're cut, clean up the site wound, get it cleanly wrapped and bandaged, then move on to the next one with just clinical precision.
Squeak, MD.
Squeak's anatomy.
Squeak's
Anatomy.
Gosh.
Oh man.
Nyrelion's gonna like sit down on like one of these barrels over here and like pull out a whetstone and start putting a new edge on his sword.
Volette's gonna. Sorry, I'm so sick. Volette's gonna look at everybody. So, new voice today. Have you guys practiced that before? That was amazing how well you all work together. Do you travel together? Are you family? How did you just
No?
jump into that?
Literally
So
none of
well.
them look alike.
Are you
In fact, they could not look more different.
None of us are even the
She
same.
works in the circus, okay?
same race.
Family means something a little different there.
That's true.
No.
I think it's just a
Although-
matter of a bit of experience, really.
Oh. When competent people work with other competent people, it tends to work out.
So you
I'm-
didn't plan any of that? None of you?
No?
Not much time to plan in the heat of battle.
Yeah. More doing than planning.
And don't sell yourself short. It's quite nice to have them distracted.
I am short though. And she just laughed.
Well,
Then don't sell yourself.
Don't sell yourself. I imagine that's dead face. Don't sell yourself.
Sell yourself.
everyone just kind of goes,
It's funny.
and we
I
just
get it. It's a good joke.
Although I was thinking later on we should probably. What do you think of meeting at the Rusty Dragon and having some drinks?
That sounds like a pleasure. I think I'm going to get cleaned up in the White Deer before I
Oh,
head
yeah,
over
well,
there.
Yes,
you know,
please.
moment to rest and clean up for sure.
quite wonderful to hear where all of you learned your various skills.
I'll
I have to
try
say, I've never
sneak
thought of-
away. Where's it at?
It's on the south side of town, I think. Can't miss it.
Okay.
As you guys standing here talking, Volette, you hear your name called out behind you.
Crap.
Volette, there you are.
Ah!
You see Rowena. Rowena, you guys see as a. Do I have a character token for her?
No. Here
I
goes the
do
town.
not. You see Rowena. Older, probably middle-aged woman, long black hair going gray, darker skin, dressed very much in the carnival clothes, and she's actually wearing the Ringmaster's uniform. And you see she has a saber at her side covered in blood, and a lute on her back. Good to see you're all right.
She's
I'm just going through the circus, seeing who's injured, who needs help.
Nope, not a scratch.
All right, good. We're gonna have some cleaning up to do later, but glad to
Actually,
see you're all right.
I was hoping I could maybe. I just met some friends in town. They're inviting me out to some drinks. I want to go do that in a little bit.
All right, and takes a look around and seeing like you're cleaning your weapons, tending to wounded, like you're actively helping, or did definitely help out during the fight.
Mhm.
She'll look around and go, "Ah, this looks like a good group of people. Here, She'll reach into a pouch and give to you, Volette. She'll count out 2, 3, 4. 10 basically just wooden tokens. You know these, Volette. They're basically like free pastry from the pastry card, free beer, free entry to the carnival, something like that for each token. You guys get 2 free. She gives you those 10 and says, here, 2 for yourself, of course, and then 2 for each of them. They're helping out, and there are a couple carnival folk that are getting patched up. Sam, currently you're working on that tiefling that has just a gash right in his thigh. Getting that patched up.
Volette will hand out.
I don't know about you, but I could use
each person.
Yeah, I think at least I could use a funnel cake for the road.
What's
Wait,
up?
So I can get any of the
Crispy
2
cake.
things.
Is it like
for
in
free.
the shape of a?
2 things for free. Yeah. What's your name?
No, it's come. I'll show you.
I'm Squeak.
Squeak.
I shake your hand, but I'm covered in blood.
Why? Yeah, I don't really care for that. Why are you called Squeak?
Oh,
Or is that your name? I'm sorry. if
It
that's
was just a
offensive.
nick. It's just no. It would. Oh, no, it's a nickname. Sort of just stuck. So.
Do you squeak?
Oh, well, I mean, usually, I would tell you the reason for my nickname, but at the moment I don't reflect it, in any capacity. I'm usually, I'm not always covered in blood. Squeaky clean, but not now. She looks very uncomfortable. Not touching anything.
Okay.
So, just,
Shoot, I wish I.
oh, I touched my nose.
Prestidigitation.
You didn't take prestidigitation.
No, I've got
Oh, no.
mage hand. Here,
Always take
I mean-
prestidigitation.
It was a fantastic thing you did with that coin. Quite marvelous.
Yes, I'm very good at distracting.
I'm just curious, is your skin coloring something that's normal, or is that something that's kind of developed over the last couple of months,
It's part
weeks,
of my
days?
heritage. I'm a Wayang, and we all look like this. But if you have been to a village of ours, it wouldn't be as alarming.
Oh no, that's fair.
It's a healthy shade. I promise.
Good to know. I'll keep
Glowing
notice
complexion.
of that.
Yes.
I'll make sure to keep a note of this. Okay, so you have naturally that color skin. He naturally looks dead. That's a mean way of saying it. I should probably think of something different.
It's fine. I get that a lot, actually.
Why do you look like that?
It's a bit complicated. How familiar are
It's
you with
very insistent
Elven
that it's not
theology?
any type of issue.
Do all your people look like that?
I'm an elf.
See, now that might be considered offensive.
Sorry.
Have you seen other elves? They generally don't look like that.
Many people
Might
know
be-
I haven't met a lot of different.
I mean, I'm up.
people.
And I don't look like that.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's rude.
Yeah. And you all look different
Next,
in a really good way, if that makes any consolation.
the next episode is sensitivity training.
What-
Episode 2 or 3, everybody poops. There you go.
Everybody-
Yeah, there we go.
I think you're great. I mean, Edan over there has glowing eyes. Have you seen those? Those are fantastic.
Yes, that's another thing. I do want to address that. Are you alright as well? Can
Oh yes, of
please recite the numbers that I'm holding in front of you?
course. That would. Don't worry about me. I'm fine.
No, oh no, that's a concern. Please tell me the numbers, please.
No, it's just you've got 2 fingers up.
Okay, thank
Well,
you.
technically, she was holding up 5.
Well,
It's just the 3 of them were down, yeah.
Oh no, that's another
It's
way
all about
people
the
could confuse
wisdom.
me with that answer. Oh.
Unless
Don't
you don't
worry.
count the thumb as a finger, and then it's only 4.
well, really, what is
Technically, the
the
thumb is not a
metaphorical
finger.
definition of a
Okay.
finger?
So then it's only.
How many fingers am I holding up? And she starts waving the goblin hand.
Oh dear.
I like her.
Oh, put that down. Oh, I'd really not touch that. Oh, that's
Yeah,
not.
It's
you're
with
a
Mage
fun one.
Hand. I'm not touching
You're a
it.
fun one.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Are
thank
we,
you.
Did we just
Well,
come
that's
back
just
from
gory.
pastry? Getting a pastry?
Yeah, we're just holding funnel cakes.
Can I actually go to the bobbing for apples stand?
Yes, you can.
Are you gonna wash your hands off in there?
That's your face
no,
off in there.
Oh no. If I give you both of the tokens, can I just have an apple?
The person who actually people are getting cleaned up and stuff. There's nobody at the bobbing for apple stand.
Ooh,
Can I
moral
just have
dilemma.
one?
Squeak, I think if you just
Oh no, there's no
grab
one
it-
there. I feel bad. I will leave both of the tickets and I will take one apple.
This is really good.
You got an
even though
apple.
It doesn't look
Can I go
anything
wash
like
my
a
apple? No,
funnel.
actually, is there a place I can
Oh,
quickly
yes.
wash my hands? Because there's no way she picked up the
I'm
apple.
not sure
Her
they
hands weren't
actually
clean.
employ
Here,
Yes,
I got you.
um,
the thing.
Mage
You
Hand.
do actually see next to the
Floating apple.
bobbing for apples, there are multiple buckets of water like off stage, because they have to occasionally refill it. People will splash, get water out of it. So there's
I'll take
buckets
one
there.
bucket. I'll take one little bucket. I'll take out my little sliver of soap. I'll wash my hands, and I'll make sure I pour the bucket out so no one uses it. And then I'll go take an apple. I'll just sit in the corner.
Yeah, how are people looking around here? Because, like, I still got one cast of Cure Light Wounds left that I can definitely use.
Looking a lot better now.
Okay.
They're going around and go ahead and roll perception to see who could use a cure light wounds.
I'm missing one whole
Ooh,
hit point.
19, I believe.
Okay.
Trenton's like, ow, ow, ow.
Sliver.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, that solves it. You see one of the people who's injured, kind of line up against one of the stands. He's definitely injured. He got a cut right on his side. But Squeak patched him up. It's bandaged up best it can be right now. And he's just sitting there, just keeping himself together, just breathing.
Oh,
But you can tell he's in a lot of pain.
Do you mind if I perform some magic on you? Don't worry, all beneficial.
No, go ahead. I
Very
could
well.
use some help.
Cut me an
It
apple
looks
for
like
something.
you could use the help. My associate Squeaky looks like did quite a good job on you, but some needs are a little more pressing sometimes. That'll be 9 healing.
Oh, I thought you were going to
Hey.
charge him. That will be 9 gold.
9 damage.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Oh, cost.
9 gold.
Yeah.
9 gold, or this becomes a harm spell.
Yeah, he
Or this becomes a-
instantly. You can see him breathing easier, feeling a lot better, and testing the area. We'll take the bandage off, and it's the skin that was there. His shirt is still cut, but you can see the skin is completely healed over now. There's a little pink line of a scar, but it's barely there and will probably age or probably disappear within the next year.
Oh, so sorry. Usually I can get the scar. Too much trouble.
This is infinitely better than what was there before. I'll
Good.
take it.
Glad to hear it.
Oh, sorry.
Well,
Did I say cure
take care of
light wounds?
yourself.
I meant inflict. Light
Yes. Playing
so
a neutral cleric. No,
What?
sorry.
what's your name? And then what's
wounds. Oh,
your name?
sorry. I
Points
didn't
at
introduce
Nyrelion.
myself. Trenton T. Treadwell. Friends call me Trent.
Trent. I am Volette.
Not treadmill.
Good to meet you.
Treadmill.
Not Treadmill. That's my cousin. Treadmill, Treadwell.
Treadmill.
Trenton.
He's got a great idea for a moving section of floor.
He's really going places. Well,
No, he's not.
not really. He makes you feel like he's going places.
He's a very unsuccessful entrepreneur.
I love it. Going places. And you? What's your name?
Nyrelion.
Nyrelion. Nice to meet you. I'm Volette, bard
Pleasure.
behind the scenes at the amazing circus.
Well, good work with distracting them. That was really helpful.
It's a fun trick. Would you like to see it?
We already did.
Will save.
Will said. What's the DC?
It's 14.
Oh,
16.
Oh, you're fine.
17, actually.
You're fine.
treadmill.
It works a lot better on goblins.
Oh, yeah.
They like gold.
Treadwell, inventor of the Treadwell treadmill.
Treadwell.
Oh,
Oh yeah. what's our
Treadwell
list
is
of
actually
things
a
that we're
really
gonna
great
buy
name
in
for a
this
treadmill.
town?
It
It's
is.
a great name.
We're gonna do other things in this town. Remember, it was like a.
Oh,
Oh, we were gonna open up. Oh yeah, I had a list of things.
first things first, I'm thinking I need to
Gossip
make a
Grill.
trip down to the river. Get cleaned up. What do you say?
I just need a pen.
Oh,
And I'll
It's
move
easier to
back
talk with my voice.
here.
this one up there.
Can you get that?
Oh, okay.
After like 15 minutes of sharpening his sword, Nyrelion finally looks content with the edge.
Treadmill, Treadwell. Love it.
The Treadwell.
I mean, as soon as everyone seems like they're doing good, I'm going for that bath.
Yeah.
Nyrelion is also heading for the White Deer.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
Meet up in like
I'm
an
gonna
hour.
pick up all my stuff.
Could I?
Hours?
You know what?
Could
I'm
I-
gonna hang out here. I think.
Could I see if I could negotiate a similar residential bargain with the proprietor of the White Deer?
Go ahead and roll diplomacy.
Okay.
I don't want to say that stupid, Blaze.
18.
Okay, yeah. They can see you're covered in blood still.
Oh yeah, he's
And-
carrying his armored coat, and his shirt underneath is completely like crimson.
hmm Yeah, seeing you covered in blood with a large sword at your side.
Mhm.
It's very easy to tell that you definitely helped out with during the goblin attack. And he gives you similar deal, rooms for a week.
Awesome.
Aw.
Thank you.
No problem.
Could I fetch a bath by chance?
Yes, we'll have one going. Give us 15 minutes.
Sure thing.
Jake, you said there were people that had died at the carnival, right?
Yes. Unfortunately, some people did pass away during the attack.
Were there carnival workers that got killed?
There were.
Don't you dare.
You murderer!
If no one dies, it was an inside job.
Oh
You
shit!
do say
It was meant to drive ticket sales.
2 people did die from the circus.
It's really
I am sorry. That's very
One of
sad.
them,
really immersive.
one
horror
of them was
show.
a carnival hand. Recently came on about 7 months ago ish. But in helping out, especially, he's really good. He was really good with animals. So pack horses, everything. He did really well with. Fortunately, he died. And another person, an older woman who had been with the carnival for a long time. One of the 2 seamstresses that made and prepared all the performers' outfits.
I was waiting for some name drops if there were name drops.
There were. I will put those in chat.
I only had like 3 best friends that I sent you, so I just was like, is it gonna be
Yeah.
one of those 3?
It's not one of those 3.
Oh, thank goodness. Well, like, can you go for it? Just be
Jake,
ready.
while everyone's kind of around, I'll kind of partner up with whoever's with those who have passed beyond, and I'll offer, if you want me to pray, I can help you with that.
people will take the comfort.
Okay, yeah.
This is gonna be officially my new voice. Think Luna Lovegood. So
Perfect.
she's gonna help some people. She's gonna help the carnival people. Take care of those who have died. Because that's a pretty somber thing to do. So she'll help out with that before
Gone to the big circus in
Yeah.
the sky.
before anything else.
That's good.
You know, yeah, it is hard losing them. Jason, he was 23, only recently-ish joined the circus, and did really well with the animals. He'll be missed. And Polly Marybuck had been with the circus almost from the beginning, was one of the two that made everybody's clothing and helped maintain the clothing. She was an absolute riot,
Man.
but she will be missed as well.
We'll write some things in a book, and then we'll head to the Rusty Dragon after like 2 hours.
All right.
Are you guys there? Are you all there? Zach, are you in the Rusty Dragon?
Eventually, I'm gonna go down to the.
First, I'll take the
Tarandara
bath first.
River.
Then I have to go back to the other place and pick up all my stuff.
I'm just hanging out at the carnival until
Just hanging out at the empty
That's also-
carnival.
Volette will
well,
hang out with you.
no, I'm not for fun.
Volette will kind of help you, like introduce you to people.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, I'm just there to pray, basically.
Yeah. You get to meet more of the members of the carnival. You meet. You met Rowena. Other major people at the carnival. Are.
I could introduce you to some of my best friends if you'd like.
Oh, that sounds wonderful.
Okay, we'll go find Pip first.
Very well.
Yeah, you find Pip and Tough. You see her wearing kind of like a jester's uniform, but without the hat and makeup. Bright pink spiky hair. And is currently helping to clear some of the debris in one of the collapsed tents.
Okay.
Volette, there you are. I was worried.
Oh, nothing happens to me. You know that.
She'll run over and give you a hug.
Aw. Is she dirty?
Not bloody, thankfully, but
That's
dusty.
good. Okay, that's fine. Yep, she hug. Yeah, hey Pip, this is my friend Edan. Edan, this
Hello.
is
Pleasure to make your
Don't worry,
acquaintance.
his eyes
Wish
are
it were
totally
under. Yes, it's hereditary. Don't worry.
All right. But, I'm assuming you helped out?
I did my best.
Thank you. I saw you were helping and healing some of the people over there. Oh boy, that was rough.
Yes.
Yeah,
Quite terrible business, but
it was.
the
It
threat
was.
is past now.
I'm glad you're okay, Volette. A real shame about Polly, though.
I know, and Jason, just terrible.
Jason too. Could have been worse, but could have
Yeah,
been better.
Jinx nearly got taken, but these guys, there were a whole group of them. They just got up and fought. It was amazing.
Good.
Oh, don't count
Jax-
yourself out of us. You did quite a bit yourself.
I distracted very well.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, I didn't do too much. I'm not much of a fighter, but I'm glad you were able to help out. Thank you.
Yeah. Is Grange around? Grange?
Yeah, Grange.
Grange?
Grange, yes. He is right over by the main tent, I think. He's kind of organizing people and
Okay.
figuring out what's what.
Okay. I'm gonna talk to him real fast.
Okay.
She'll
And
go over.
you guys head on
Aiden,
off,
come
and
check
you
this.
see
Aiden, you're
Tough.
gonna
You
love
see this
guy.
large, 6'5", gold dragonborn in half plate.
Oh, hello.
Large greatsword on his back, covered in blood.
She's gonna whisper to you, like on their way over. Okay, don't ask this question, but this is how I thought dragons were. Dragon children looked like. He's not a real dragon. Like not real dragon. Like he's just. Never mind. Here he is.
Very well.
Now
I
we're
won't
here.
ask.
Yeah.
As you come up, Tough, get a closer look. He has almost a very intimidating demeanor. There's a large, very old, but very prominent scar over his right eye.
Hey, me too.
What?
Well, not over my eye,
Oh,
but
okay.
yeah, I have a
Yeah.
huge scar on my cheek.
Oh,
So-
Yeah. Oh, sorry, not a greatsword. It's a heavy mace.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, hanging from his belt. And he sees you come over and, Volette, good to see you are all right. Edan, seeing you. Grange, I'm in charge of security of the circus.
Very nice to meet you, Aiden Ryan.
Nice to meet you too.
Looks like you were hard at work there.
Oh yes, took a few of those suckers out myself.
Do you know where they came from or why they were here?
No. I'm gonna talk to Sheriff Hemlock later on to see if we can figure out what's going on, but as of right now, just trying to organize people, get things taken care of.
All right.
Some of the
Correct me if
tents
I'm wrong.
collapsed and getting people's accommodations figured out. Some tents were unfortunately burned. So people are bunking with others right now. Just getting everything settled, and then I'll figure out the goblin situation more.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, it seemed that they came from everywhere at once.
They did. They came from a few sides. From I saw most notably from the forest.
Terrible business.
But yes, I'd love to talk to you all later. Figure out exactly where they came from and what's going on here.
Yeah, we'll get a group of people together. We're gonna talk to the sheriff too, and then if we're not all together, I'll at least relay what happens to you.
Wonderful. And the sheriff and I will be in constant contact, so if you tell one of us, good chances are the other one will hear about it as well.
Great.
So, thank you.
Yeah, carry on. Don't want to get in his way too often.
Who was that you were talking to?
It seems that he probably has quite a lot of work.
That was Grange.
Security.
Grange
He's
security.
I will put those names in chat as well.
Yeah, he's like a dragonborn. He looks like a dragon.
Or are you two still at the carnival?
We are, yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
We should probably go soon, actually, if you want Aiden to catch
Yes.
up
Oh,
with people.
you were wondering where the Rusty Dragon was,
Oh,
right?
do you know where that's at?
I do indeed.
Let's go.
Very well. I'll lead the way.
So yeah, and you guys head on off back to the Rusty Dragon. True to our word, Emiko got the bath warmed up and ready, so shortly thereafter, after you get back, there's a nice steaming bath ready for Squeak.
Oh, man. Squeak. You get your bath.
Your second bath today.
I will sit
it's
in
the
it until the
perfect
water goes
day.
cold.
It's a good day.
Scrub. And when I think I've scrubbed, second time.
Nice.
Getting all the blood off.
Yeah, you get scrubbed up as best you can and then some. A couple hours pass. Nyrelion, you have your steaming warm bath as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Similar
the
situation.
images,
Fairly
the
nice
images of like Squeak bathing versus Nyrelion bathing, where Squeak is like super compulsatorily like scrubbing herself and stuff. Nyrelion is just like lounging and like relaxing.
Meanwhile, Trent literally cannonballs into the river.
That's awesome.
Do you have a glorious made of hair you can shake out?
Oh,
Just all the goblin blood just going downstream. It's great.
Just like picking up handfuls of sand and using that to scrub.
Exfoliate. That's good for your
Clothes on
skin.
everything.
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
You're 1
yeah.
point of damage.
I'll change into the second clean pair, and then I guess I'll also take some time to wash my clothes.
Nice.
Scrub the hell out of those motherfuckers.
Yeah, and you get everything cleaned up. Everybody is composed a little bit more. Still, like, exhausted, drained a bit. But you've had time to de-stress a little bit. And you all meet back up at the Rusty Dragon, which at this point is actually fairly busy. It's late afternoon by now. Emiko has multiple plates of stew. She has a roasted lamb over the fire that's cooking. So food's going out, drinks are going. And you can tell just kind of the air in here is everybody's a bit shaken from the goblin attack. And they're trying to just de-stress and relax after it. Drinks are really flowing.
Wow.
But
Party in
Emiko
here.
actually has drinks currently half off right now and is trying to help out and calm people as much as she can. You can tell Emiko, this is a popular spot in the town and she is really liked by her patrons.
Nice.
Partaking in some of those half-off drinks.
Drinks are free for you guys.
Oh, nice.
Edan and I will find the group.
Yeah.
This
Guys.
place looks amazing.
All meet back up at the tavern. You have one of the tables set off and free food, free drink.
I'll go pick up my stuff. I'll come wandering back into the tavern. She's got a huge backpack on and a very tall, I forgot about this, 6-foot pole, like a staff. She's kind of walking, kind of nicely carved.
Hey, you got a walking staff too?
Oh, it's a holder. It's very nice.
So great.
She'll kind of hold it sideways, unscrews the top, and pulls out a fishing pole.
Oh,
Keeps it safe.
quite impressive.
Got to take very good care of your things. They won't last as long.
Can't argue with that, I suppose.
And you know how expensive fishing poles have been getting lately. My goodness. I mean, the first thing I did, I just grabbed a stick out of the... I'm sorry. I should find a room. This is getting really heavy.
Just wanders away.
Yeah, do you need some help?
Oh, it's okay. Thank you very much. I got it.
Very well.
Yeah. I'll go find my room. Eventually come back to join.
So that was quite the adventure there. I must say, I'm impressed with all of your fighting skills.
It
Some
was
very
good
large
fun.
swords you have.
They're not that large. They're just kind of normal size.
It's normal.
I mean, mine is a little bit large.
It's just
I mean, that seems fairly large.
it's just a normal.
You don't have any swords. You just have your coin.
I've got a whip.
A whip?
Not with me, but with my things.
Oh.
A whip? That's something I've never seen used in a fight before.
Oh yeah, they're great for tripping.
Oh,
What's
Seems
Nyrelion's
useful.
weapon?
Say that again.
What's Nyrelion's weapon?
It's a falchion,
Oh, okay.
but the falchion in Pathfinder is like a two-handed like falchion, so it's like, yeah. If you want an idea, Google.
I'll be back.
I think it's like Swiss saber. Yeah. Google Swiss saber.
Cool, Jake's gone. Quick, go into his room and look at his computer.
Oh,
Quick.
Sam, I've run this game like 5 times. I know what's happening. I don't need to look at his computer.
I forgot this is the module.
The module.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. This is very fun.
Okay.
But yeah, historically, like two-handed falchions didn't exist, even though they would they're as a weapon, it's entirely like a reasonable design. But it's just because the period of time where like falchions existed was around like the same time where armor was starting to take off and shields were really, really prominent. And so like if you weren't using a shield, it's because you were using a polearm and there was not really any other thing that you were doing if you weren't having a shield. Unless you were doing a longsword, but the only time you were doing a longsword is if you were like in plate. Really. And because armor had taken off so much, slashing focus weapons really started to decline as well, which is why the longsword was the two-handed sword of choice for the people who were in armor. But in a fantasy setting where you have things like goblins that aren't in a lot of armor, a two-handed slashing weapon becomes much more of an actual boon. I did a whole bunch of research into the history of falchions and shit. Because I'm a weapon nerd.
Well, then our
As you
swords are
guys,
slightly similar then, because
Oh yeah,
mine
I've just got the two-handed version of yours.
scimitar, but I personally hate scimitars, so
I
it's a cavalry saber.
I hate the use of the word scimitar.
Mm-hmm.
The classification scimitar is a completely historically useless classification because it's just used to describe curved swords that come from a certain region. It's not actually a classification.
at this point, as you guys are talking, getting food and drinks, you see approaching your table again is Aldern Foxglove. Looks a lot more put together. His clothes have either been cleaned. Actually, no, he's wearing an entirely different outfit, but still those noble clothes. Cleaned up, freshened, hair freshly brushed, and walking with a cane in hand. Well, I say, good to see you again. I cannot say it enough. That was a rousing good fight. And turning to you, Squeak, I've never seen someone fight so effectively with their hands without a weapon in hand. Oh. Well, I said I would reward you, and thank you for saving my life. This is for the lot of you. And he'll put a small gold bag of gold on the table.
1 gold.
Yeah, one gold.
A small gold piece.
Small gold.
I'll pull out a Ginsu knife and cut it into pieces.
Those stupid Cutco scissors.
Yeah, Cutco's, yeah.
I got this, guys. There you go.
Oh, you're welcome.
My boss's son works for Cutco. That's why
How
everybody
about
has
you?
Cutco knives, right?
Do you mind if I just count it and split it up for everyone?
Oh no, go right ahead. Go right ahead.
I was just looking at everyone else, making sure that was okay too. Not just she doesn't just
Works
grab
fine.
the thing.
Bad enough?
She'll start dividing it in 2. 1,
Yep.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, and divided evenly amongst everybody, everybody gets 10 gold.
Nice.
Nice. I have 10 gold.
Get a boost to the coffers.
Oh, it is
very
much
Very generous
appreciated.
of you, are you sure?
Oh, definitely. Take it, please.
Okay.
Oh,
Don't look a gift horse in the mouth.
I never question someone.
that I do say. I would also, if you guys have the time, I'm going on a rather invigorating boar hunt in a few days. I would love if you all join me. It's a wonderful, smashing good time.
Boar.
Sounds like a lot of fun. Count me in.
Boar hunt, huh?
it'll be in 2 days from now. I'm not planning to do anything for the rest of today. Just relax and come down, maybe have another bath, eat a good meal. And then tomorrow I've got some shopping to do, gonna look around town. Hi. And then boar hunt early in the next morning. So yes, if you would love to join me, meet me down here in the inn.
Okay.
Very well.
What time would you have us join you?
Ooh. We'd be heading out early, so shortly after dawn. Meet down here.
I'll be there.
That works for me. I'll be there.
I don't really think I'm quite equipped for a boar hunt
if
unless
someone
you're
gets hurt?
alright with me, like, beating it to death. Oh, I guess that's a valid
Oh,
point.
definitely that can...
So
A lot of you look like you can handle yourself. It's a good time, but it gets the blood pumping.
what?
But I would love it if you all could join me.
What day is it around here? What do you measure time-wise?
It's Tuesday, my dear.
Never heard of that day.
You would know it
Tuesday.
is.
Getting a calendar, guys. Let's go.
I wrote it down somewhere.
Whenever you find it, that's okay. Doesn't have to be this moment.
Yes.
But I'd like to keep
I
notes.
mean, I would say just in general, bulls are quite dangerous. I mean, 15% of boar attacks do end in fatalities. So hopefully it would be a good idea if
Well,
we don't.
100% of successful
Maybe
boar
get
hunts
into
end in
direct
a
confrontation?
fatality.
And it wouldn't be
Well,
good
no,
fun.
I mean
if
more
it was
like
a little bit
involves
dangerous.
fatalities to the person as opposed to the boar,
Well, just don't get
because
hit.
they have
Yeah.
tasks.
I think that means we ought to come along then, doesn't it?
I
It seems
guess
like
that-
you're arguing for
well,
reasons
I-
to come.
I'm not. Well, I wouldn't say. I guess
Somebody's gonna die on this boar
It'll
hunt
be
now.
fun.
it's gonna be me.
It's gonna be so fun. It's been a while since I've had boar too.
All right, so you know it is the 22nd of Rova.
Ooh, spell Rova.
Which would be equivalent. It's the autumnal equinox, is what it is.
Oh, it's
Rova would equate to September.
September.
So it's one of the last few nice days of the year.
Spell the month.
Rova, R-O-V-A.
Winter's coming. We're in danger.
Winter's coming. Stock up on coats.
Watch out for White Walkers.
Okay, cool. Great.
Let me quickly write this down so I don't forget it next time.
Nice.
It is also Fire Day, which would equate to Thursday.
Ah.
Oh, I thought it was like a holiday.
I know, right?
Fire.
That's what I thought too.
Nope.
Fire Day.
It's
Swallowtail
Fire Day.
Festival is next month.
Ha.
Oh,
Oh, crap.
Well, we definitely don't want to be in town for that.
You gotta leave.
we gotta get out of here, man.
Can't take all these
Groundhog Day.
goblins.
There's too many butterflies. I don't do butterflies, okay? They freak me out.
What about jellyflies?
I'm more partial to jam flies.
Fair enough. What about marmalade flies?
Ooh, that's just too out there for me.
You guys are fun.
The Vegemite flies, though, that I can get behind.
So yeah, you guys have the rest of the evening to relax, enjoy your food, and do whatever you want.
Great.
So-
I say we hang out and talk, I guess.
Where'd where'd you two
sure.
learn to fight? Looking at Squeak and Nyrelion.
Hmm.
Oh, well, I wasn't really trained to fight. Sort of came with the territory, I guess. I don't know. I punched at it and then it just dropped dead. I wasn't quite sure what happened. It was very shocking.
Oh, well,
Oh
I
boy.
guess that just makes you a natural then.
For not being trained, you put up quite a show.
I'll say. Especially at the end there, that little, like, cross punch thing.
It was quite effective.
It's very overwhelming. Thank you. Can we talk about something else, please?
Did you ask me as well?
I
Trent?
did, yeah.
I've pretty much been practicing my whole life, as far as I can remember.
Oh. Just a hobby? Or
Now, in Elven society, combat is kind of practiced
Oh,
culturally.
well, I learn something new every day.
And yourself, you looked quite competent with that blade of yours.
Oh, well, wow. It's been a few years, but I used to be in the cavalry, so some training, at least. I will reinforce the visual that Trenton looks. He's got some gray at his temples, so he's not. He's like definitely in his 30s.
Mm-hmm. How long did you serve?
Oh, well, it must have been like 3 years. 3 years. When I was younger, wanted to go out and have an adventure. Turned out most of the days it was just training, riding around, kicking rocks around. Pretty boring, actually.
I've heard most of soldiering is learning how to wait.
Well, there is a lot of waiting. Long periods of waiting, and then very intense periods of action, and then more waiting.
I personally found mercenary work to be much more exciting.
With a group or just by yourself, though?
Combination. I've been bouncing around for the past however many years.
Always
Town
thought,
to town, group to group.
I always thought being a mercenary might be a little lonely. But
It can be, but you meet good people.
Are you here on a job now?
No, looking for work actually. I'm actually, well, until like 5 minutes ago, I was pretty much fresh out of funds.
oh, well, quite the windfall then.
So what can
Yeah.
someone hire you for?
I think you just watched it.
That's all? Just killing goblins and
Well, not all the
going
time.
on boar hunts and...
Mercenaries sometimes do like security work, or sometimes they just stand there and look threatening.
A couple of months ago, I helped escort a caravan. We got ambushed by orcs, so it was quite a hairy thing.
So someone could pay you...
Oh, I was just about to say that sounded lovely, but I guess that's not quite lovely anymore. Sorry.
Are
Yeah,
your
I
jobs so
actually-
exciting?
Lost quite a bit of my gear, thus me being recently out of funds.
Unfortunate. Are all of your
Quite.
outings so exciting? I'm mostly...
Seems like you've got the skills to bounce back pretty fast, though. Judging from what I saw today.
Yeah, it's just finding people to pay for it, really.
Aye, true that is.
So if someone were to hire you, what would like your rates be?
It depends on what I can get.
A bodyguard for like... I don't know, adventuring?
Depends on the risk.
Are you trying to hire a bodyguard?
Are you looking to
I
hire?
don't know what I want, but it was an option that I was considering.
Well,
I
what's
don't
your
travel
offer?
alone. If you couldn't tell, can't do fighting like you, but I can do distracting. But I can't.
Just
Everything
think
needs to
it's-
end in a fight. I think distraction is.
Nah, I can
No.
only do one at
Honorable.
a time,
I mean,
though.
By itself, I suppose you wouldn't want to go one-on-one with just a trick up your sleeve, but certainly in a fight, I mean, distraction's nothing to scoff at. It's quite a advantage.
And
It is. It's good. It is good.
there's an old adage that says that the one who always wins the fight is the fastest runner.
Actually, I'm not a fast runner either. So
I don't really think I've heard that one.
I prefer to ride a horse.
Even
I
better.
found that
I do have a horse.
saying seems to factor out the idea of armor,
Well,
since that can tend to prevent you from running fast, but also save your life.
Oh, well. When I rode with the scouts, they
What
always
is
said
food?
fair enough.
speed is the best armor, yeah.
fish and chips.
Fish and chips. Oh god. With all the fish I've eaten, I probably have mercury poisoning. Mercury poisoning.
I've never heard this song. Well, okay, so you're a mercenary, Nyrelion. Is anybody else a mercenary? Are you a mercenary?
Not a mercenary. I'm just, I don't know. I suppose I'm just looking for adventure.
Okay.
Seems I found it today.
Squeak, are you a mercenary?
No. No, quite the opposite.
What
no.
are you doing?
I actually find that getting paid or only finding pay out of your work that you're given is a bit selfish. Just give out of the goodness that I could possibly give. It's the best I can do. Speaking of which, are you sure 10 gold? It seems like a lot. I don't need this much. If you're short of funds, I mean, I would be willing to give you some of what I have. This is just a lot. There's a lot.
Can't you use that to buy, like,
Remember what I said
supplies or
about looking at gift horse on the map?
You could, yeah, buy medical supplies.
Oh yes, I have a small fund that does that. I don't know. For part of
Just because.
Or you could treat yourself. It sounds like you tend to not really, I don't know,
You could buy more
look out
soap.
for yourself as much for others. You helped a ton of
could
people
buy
today.
more
Why
soap.
not do
You
something nice
clean
for
up
yourself?
nice, by the way. You look
Oh.
and smell great.
Thank you. All of you also cleaned up quite nicely as well. Although I think you probably could have scrubbed a little more under the nail, but it's fine. It's fine.
You know, you don't have to think of it as being selfish and getting paid yourself. You could think of it as someone you helped showing their gratitude and enabling you to help others down the road. I mean, the world's not always a pretty place, and usually it takes money to do things.
But if you'd like, I can handle your
That's a
funds.
really valid point. I mean, to be honest, I think I've only been out on my own for like, what, 2 months? Maybe even less than that. So, big wide world.
There is quite a
I'm-
lot of it.
There's a lot.
How do you like it so far?
Self-sufficiency is a virtue. Sorry.
It's been fine.
2 months.
Been
Where did you come from?
Quiet. Oh, I'm from Turtleback Ferry.
Now I have to look up a map.
Go ahead and roll me knowledge geography.
Can I also roll that?
Yes, go ahead.
15.
Oof. 4.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah, Zach, you've never heard of Turtleback Ferry.
That place sounds nice. I've heard the summers are lovely there.
Noah, you've heard of Turtleback Ferry? It's a good distance away from where you were from. It's a relatively small town on the border of the Cinderlands.
Oh, okay.
Maybe 2-3 hour ride away.
Yes, it was a small town. Lots of ships came in. I was in a very small monastery. I'm very good at identifying scurvy. So if you happen to have any scurvy, I'm very good at finding that, you know. If you're tired and you're weak or you're irritable, joint pain, leg pain, swollen bleeding gums, blue
Most of
spots
that
on the
just sounds
skin.
like an average morning.
Whoa.
Oh,
goblins
cheers to
are
that.
suffering.
The other old guy
orange
at the
juice,
table.
old citrus in the building.
Except for the
don't have
bleeding
to
gums
have any
part, that
citrus.
only happens on Tuesdays.
Do you happen to have all of your teeth?
That was 2 days
Oh, I
ago.
think so. Yeah.
You got them all?
Oh, yeah, most of them.
You're tired
Do
all
you
the time?
bruise easily?
I mean, when I get hit, yeah.
Do you have scurvy?
No, no, scary. No.
How often would you say you have access to fresh fruits and vegetables?
I mean, I've been picking what
my
I've
gosh.
found along the road, so.
Jessica in real life being like, do I have scurvy?
No, man.
Do you happen to smoke tobacco
There's
by
no way
chance?
you have scurvy.
No, of course not.
Do you smoke
I had
tobacco?
orange juice today.
That's all. That can also help lower vitamin C in the body, so avoid smoking. I would also probably say alcohol. You should probably avoid, but
Oh, the missus always says an apple a day, so I'll try for that. Although it's
an
kind of hard
apple
to
a
find
day. Yes,
apples
I quite believe in that.
all the time, but
So
That
essentially-
could also be type 1 diabetes, but I don't have the testing for that at this level. Just kidding, I don't know what type 1 diabetes is.
diabetes.
Just, yeah, I mean, if you happen to any of the symptoms that I mentioned, they start to, well, I mean, I can identify it quite quickly, but don't worry, if I travel with you, no
no
scurvy.
stiff in the morning. Well, I will be.
hopefully with that healing, you should be
Oh, you know.
right
that's
as
fair.
rain.
Well, I'll have to let you know how that turns out. I've never
Yes, do.
gotten magic healing before, so
You can join me
To
in
be
my
honest,
morning
I'm-
stretches. That also might help.
you're
to be
morning
honest-
what?
Stretches?
Oh. Maybe,
Good
So-
to get the energy flowing through your body.
maybe I'll do that. All right, try.
You said you were part of a monastery?
Always do that.
Yes?
Yes. What?
Okay.
What? I mean,
Oh,
usually there's some sort of worship associated with that. Do
Well,
you
we're
have
a
a
little bit of a
monastic
weird
order?
bunch.
Oh yes.
Would anyone care
Well,
for some music? Sorry. That was a random thought.
Music.
I
would be
didn't hear what
wonderful.
you said. I heard
I mean,
music.
We're in a super crowded tavern, so
Oh.
I think there are plenty of patrons that would appreciate some music.
I think you'd be able to get a fair amount of coin if you started playing some tunes for people, depending on how good you are. Sure, you're
Jacob,
great.
Jacob, I would like to pull out my fiddle,
All right.
and I would like to start playing a song. Try to lift the spirits of this room.
I'm gonna sing the song of my people.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me a performance check.
Please tell me it's Devil Went Down to Georgia.
I was thinking, like Wayang music is actually just like a death metal.
It's just straight up bluegrass.
Pulls out a fiddle and then starts strumming it like a guitar, and it's just magical power chords.
18.
Yeah.
I got 18.
Yeah, it's a pretty good performance. Everybody's, you can tell, like, people are still on edge, but they're really enjoying the music and calming down a bit more. It's definitely lightened the mood a bit.
Hey, you're quite good.
Woman of many talents.
Nyrelion's gonna see if he can get a second serving of food.
Yes, you can. She has a vegetable stew and a roasted lamb shake.
He's gonna get a second roasted lamb shake.
All right.
I wouldn't mind a vegetable stew.
Coming right up. And she'll come back with lamb shank and a bowl of stew.
Appreciate it. I like it too, but I'm always getting pestered. Keep eating my vegetables.
I bet. he's
Don't want to get
watching
scurvy.
you.
Well, that's not for scurvy.
But orange juice. Hey,
Does
nice
that work?
Music. Yeah.
Nice.
That was awesome.
What are you playing? Is it a fiddle?
It's a fiddle,
Oh, nice.
and it's upbeat.
Sawing out a little jig.
Yet of the mind, pretend it is a fiddle.
That's right. They
That
don't-
flute sounds beautifully violin-like,
Oh,
fiddle-like.
it's amazing. doing?
She's so good on the fiddle that it
So
sounds like a
Wow, it
flute,
almost sounds
you
like
know?
a flute. Holy crap.
There actually
Could've
is a way to
sworn.
play the violin so it sounds like a pan flute.
Epic.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah, I can do it. It's when you bow. So
You're
normally
showing
you
me
bow.
when I show up.
Oh yes. Normally when you bow, it's up here. If you actually bow up near the fingers, like at least halfway up the neck of the violin,
Oh, that makes sense.
it's a much more like
Oh.
it sounds like a pan flute.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Cool.
That's what Volette's
Cool.
doing.
Never seen
Sweet.
anyone play a fiddle like that before.
It's the problem with it is when you press down the strings, because it's so close to where the bow is, that it's almost impossible to play just one string, just because of the height
Mm.
difference.
Guys, if we ever need a distraction in a tavern, I've got you. Okay?
Not sure what we need that
Oh
for.
dear.
I don't know if we ever needed like
No rogues
Smoke
in the party,
bomb.
right?
just sneak around or something. I
No
don't know.
rogues in the party. Yeah.
No rogues.
Secretly,
Not yet.
I always play rogues.
Jake has another NPC that's just a rogue that's just been attached to the party, but we've never known they've been there the whole time.
They're so quiet that we've never seen them.
That's amazing.
We've never seen them.
Everywhere you go, he's off sitting in the corner, dark,
Yeah.
brooding rogue.
That's
Same
hilarious.
corner,
Ignore
no
him.
matter what tavern you go to,
That's awesome.
he's always there.
That is so cool.
And we just never notice. Too stealthy.
Too stealthy.
That's
Always has the same drink in front of him, even if the establishment doesn't have it.
I like this rogue a lot.
Can
I
I
wanna play this
possibly
rogue now.
ask the server for hot water?
Oh yeah, I can do that. A little bit later, she'll bring you just a mug of steaming hot water.
Take this little box I have kind of hidden away in one of my little pouches. Got some herbs in it.
That's like what you did.
Oh, yeah, you too. By the way, this entire time Trent has been drinking water that he sprinkled herbs in. He's not been drinking any alcohol.
Oh.
Yeah, neither has Squeak. Oh, you like it? You drink tea as well?
Oh, it's refreshing. Yeah, these came out of
my gosh.
my own garden. Although I'm starting to run.
You
out
have
of
your own garden.
Oh yeah.
Someone I can exchange tea with.
I mean, it's nothing so
She'll
formal.
pull
as
up their
that.
little
I
case.
just kind of grab whatever I feel like at the moment, you know.
Oh, I've never tried it that way before. I could show you some of the blends that I have. Very exciting. Someone else likes tea.
Nyrelion just like takes another swig of ale.
No, you should try
It's a
something
very,
to
very good stout.
clear your head, help you sleep.
This does that too.
You have to be very
Sleep,
careful
yes.
with alcohol
Clear
because
your head, I don't think so. Not from my experience, at least.
well, the problem with alcohol is it has long-term risks as well as short-term risks, so it's just too much of a
Yeah,
liability,
you should listen to her. She knows
and
things.
it's scary. Short-term injuries include short-term issues result in injuries from falls, drowning. Sometimes people burn themselves, violence, sometimes suicide, intimate partner violence, which is an absolute shame. And then, although it's not a problem for you, miscarriage and possible stillbirth.
How do you know it's not a
Who
problem?
are you talking to when you say that?
Just
Just the
Really?
table.
I don't know.
If it is a possibility for you, there's a possibility of that happening as well.
That's only really if you drink too much.
Of a miscarriage?
Any other
Nyrelion?
time.
Those are the short-term. Long-term issues could possibly be high blood pressure, heart disease, weakening of your immune system, mental health issues, cancer, some forms of cancer, social problems. You can get into fights with
He
your
just
family.
drinks
You know,
water.
there's all sorts of different issues.
Do you have a death wish, Nyrelion?
Oh, I wouldn't do. Oh, that's a lot. Oh, that's a light ale.
don't worry, I'll have something for you in the morning when you wake up with a headache.
Trust me, I'll be fine.
Don't suit yourself.
Are you magical? Is that why you can just be fine? That's a lot.
He looks
of
dead.
ale.
I just have a high thought. So.
I missed out. No, what?
I will say, Sam,
That
when
was
you're
extremely rude to say.
What
I
did you
apologize.
say?
I
What
mean,
did you say
I
no?
think it was a little rude.
What did you say no?
Mostly because you've mentioned it several times.
As I said before, I get that a lot.
Very concerning.
Is there a reasoning behind your looks? Like, do you not like the sun?
Sun's fine.
You don't look like the sun likes you? That makes sense.
That is new what I have to say.
What? Sorry, can't hear.
I said that's a
The
new
sun
one.
doesn't like you. That's a
That's a
good
new
one.
one.
I like
Sun
that.
like
That's
you?
good.
Oh. No, as best as I can tell, it's just kind of. Well, how much do you know of elven physiology?
I know that you have pointy ears and are tall. Very tall.
And you'll live a long time.
Oh
a
boy.
long time. A long time.
So,
Very smart.
do you know how like some people like to like differentiate like elves that live in like the forest from like elves that live in the city, calling them like wood elves or high elves or like whatever, like
Okay.
smaller subtitles that they like to give. And generally, when you look at elves that live in the forest, like they've got kind of like darker skin, like brownish hair, like much more like natural, like earthy tones. And you look at elves that live in the city, and it's much more golden and things like that. Well,
Are you like a stone
this has
elf?
something to do with that. Let's just leave it at that.
Are you like a stone elf, a pale elf, a moon elf,
No, it's more like elves kind of come to reflect aspects of their environment.
Yeah, pardon me asking what kind of environment
Yeah.
you are reflecting?
corpses?
But it's not
Oh, do
it's
you?
not an environment so much, but just kind of it has to do with like that same type of like physiological response.
Are you sensitive about it? Talking about it? Is that why you don't want
No,
to
it's
say,
just
or-
complicated as well.
Oh, okay.
Alright, we'll stop hounding you.
Yeah.
We'll stop hounding you.
It's interesting.
Sounds like an
I
interesting
think it's
story.
really cool. If you want to say it.
It's just complicated.
That sounds exciting.
I mean, what about you?
No, we're just. This
Yeah.
is what Wayangs look like.
Wayang, huh? I've not heard that one before.
They're kind of like a gnome.
Have I heard?
Go ahead
Is
and
that a
roll
race that's well known?
history or
Wayang.
geography.
Oh god.
Oh, those are both bad.
I'm ass at both.
11.
What'd you get,
Oh.
Sam?
Boy. 14.
Better than me.
That was more.
Zero
Wayne.
modifier.
Ooh.
-1.
Oof.
Zach, what did you get?
11.
Okay. Both of you have heard of Wayangs. You know general looks that they're kind of smaller, ranging from purple to gray skin, very kind of reclusive race. Zach, that's about as far as you know. Sam, you know they're a little bit more. Physiology is kind of similar to gnomes in terms of diseases, treatments, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
But same thing, they live a very far distance away, so there's not much time dedicated to learning about them. The only people who really study it is people who intend to eventually go to that part of the world.
You know, now that I mention it, I've heard of Wayangs before, but I've never met one.
I've never met one either. So I apologize for what I said about, about you possibly having a lack of oxygen and anemia. That was a bit rude.
Oh, I didn't take offense to it. That's fine. We kind of look like this, I guess. Some of us are maybe like an inch taller, an inch shorter, but we all have like skin that's think like sunset colors, I guess, like deeper twilight, darker blue, violets.
I would have pegged you for like lilac.
Yeah,
That's a good word for it.
Mine's
Lilac
like a
bush.
lighter. Mine's a lighter.
I'd say
tone.
that fits.
Yeah, mine's like a lighter tone, and then I have my tattoos are part of My family, a lot of us have tattoos. Mine are, I think it was like a rite of passage at some point. It was early, very early years. But yeah. So you'll probably see some Wayangs, they'll have different tattoos of different styles, and that's normal as well. Not all of us are bards, though. I will say that. Not a lot of people are, not a lot of Wayangs have this kind of humor that I have.
I think
Some are very
How
boring.
How long have you been with the carnival?
Just like a few weeks or months, not very long.
Weeks or months?
Yeah, it's been a while, but not long enough that I've actually gotten to know a lot of people. I work a lot behind the scenes, so I don't really get to go out and be like the main attraction of the show. So this is like the most I've talked to anybody ever. This is amazing.
Oh my gosh, same here.
Awesome.
So exciting. Oh boy.
What brought you both to this part of the world?
Well, for me, Wayangs, once you hit 40, you can go out on your own for a while, for about 100 years, and then you go back. So right now, I'm just out exploring and gathering stories, and then I'm gonna head back.
40. Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how old are you? Is that not normal?
34.
You look 34. You got gray
Thanks.
in your I don't know. Does that seem... Dang it.
We'll just start laughing.
Generally, that's not what is considered polite.
Dang it.
That's fine. Different cultures. It's fine.
How long do
We're
you
learning today.
You're human, right?
Yeah. I suppose I'd be expected to live, I don't know, 7 decades, 8, if I were lucky.
Does that mean you develop faster then? Like,
I suppose.
brain-wise, like how long was your childhood?
I mean, usually you'd consider a young woman or man an adult like 16.
What?
16 years.
What? Early?
Puberty
Some-
for males
some
and
places-
humans tends to happen a little bit later in life than for some of the females. Generally, boys tend to hit puberty between the ages of possibly 10 and 14, but some do hit their stride at 16, mostly tend to go towards more of the later years, where the females develop faster.
I don't know if it's quite that clinical in its figuring. More of a maturity experience kind of a thing. I don't know. I've heard of some places they say coming of age is 18.
Well, what about... She points at, like, the rest of you, because we're all different races.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
what's normal life and age of childhood for you?
For elves, we generally don't really consider you a full adult until you're roughly 110.
Whoa. Okay. How old are
Really?
you?
121.
Oh, so you're not a child anymore. Congratulations. I don't know. Do you have a coming of age ceremony?
Oh, is that directed at me?
To anybody, yeah, anybody. You, Trent, and Nyrelion?
No.
Not so much of a ceremony, no.
No. More of a, I don't know, ceremony. More of a, you might have a nice dinner on your 16th birthday or something like that, and then, you know, take on more responsibilities around the house and kind of things like that. Be expected to contribute more. I guess not really ceremony, just more responsibility. But some more freedom too.
Edan, what about you?
No. I have a similar lifespan to Trenton here. I'm currently actually similar age as well.
Oh,
36.
And you have like a normal childhood span?
Oh, a little bit longer. It takes us. I wasn't considered really mature until about 20. But
So fat.
also, I didn't exactly grow up in a community of people like myself.
Where did you grow up then? Or what
Oh,
kind
in
of
a
people?
mostly all sorts. Anyone you could imagine. Lots of orcs, humans, the occasional elf.
You've met orcs.
Oh yes, many of them.
Are they nice? I've heard they're not nice.
Oh, that's a common misconception. All depends on the person. It's about the individual.
Squeak, are you a half elf or are you full elf?
I'm half.
Okay, so do you live half as long as elves?
No, a little bit short of a lifespan. I mean, to be perfectly honest, don't really know. I wasn't really raised amongst other half elves. Of all elves. So I'm not quite sure.
Oh, what were you raised
But I
with?
Oh, it was just, me and the other or the other monks. A couple of us. I just sort of, hung around and learned whatever I could, and I would say my childhood is not exactly typical. I wouldn't say it's typical, probably, but
Were you raised by this monastic order?
yes. Yes. I've known it my whole life, nothing but.
Do you know who your parents are?
No. Never met.
What?
No. I know, yeah. They're somewhere.
They're somewhere?
That's a shame. I'm
Yes,
sorry
somewhere.
to hear that.
Do you... Should we go find them?
No, I don't think that's quite. I'm not ready in any capacity to do something along those lines. No, I'm fine.
Approach that as well.
Couldn't hear you very well.
What, Noah?
How would you even begin to approach that as well? Not exactly.
Oh boy. Well,
I've heard of
Take quite a bit
it's
of
really
investigation.
complicated, and
some
I'd rather
magic
not get into it
situations.
too much at the moment.
Man,
I've
that's
heard old
business.
stories about magic that could find people, but
Yeah, or people that you know.
No, it's
Well,
no.
actually-
I know they are. I know. I'm just not in the position to do anything about it. This is such wonderful water. I'd love to have more.
I'd love to hear more about this monastic order you were raised by.
Yeah, what's it called?
Yes, the Order of the Giving Hand.
Order of the Giving Hand. That sounds nice.
I'm gonna
We're very
need
small. I think we might be the only temple of old basically in
I
existence,
mean,
probably.
Your
Zach
hands
and
really
Jessica.
gigged out today.
Yeah.
or sorry, Zach and Nyrelion.
Give it to you, bitch.
Yes.
I need a knowledge geography check on that.
Wisdom checks.
Or sorry, no, knowledge history.
Nat 20. Plus 3.
Okay.
13 with a -1.
Wow, nice.
So 13.
Would you like my backstory?
All right.
No,
So Zach,
Send
you-
out an email.
That's
You get the
hilarious.
piece of paper.
It's 1/62 the size of yours.
Zach, you've heard the name of that monastic order before, but don't really know much about it, or where it's located exactly.
Mhm.
Nyrelion with a natural 20.
You've been there. You were a part
It's
of it.
actually
Your
kind of
Squeak's dad.
in your neck of the woods. It's over in Ilsirian, on the Lake Sirentula.
Okay.
So just northwest. And it's very... Ilsirian is a very big, almost like a port town. A lot of ships going in and out, a lot of trade.
Mhm.
And that's where the monastery is, and it's very well known in that area as basically just everybody there, the primary thing they study is healing.
Mhm. That's just a little bit to the northwest of here, isn't it?
Yes,
Or-
it is.
So,
Northeast.
is that where you...
Northeast.
Sorry.
I'm Northwest.
No, sorry. Southeast of where you are.
Oh, okay, gosh.
Or
It's to the east. It's
No,
to the
it's-
east.
Sorry, I was looking at a wrong point. It is northeast.
Nice.
It's east, basically east northeast.
Southeast. Oh, okay.
So are they the ones that taught you all of your wonderful healing skills? I've never seen non-magical healing effective as yours.
Yes, they take lots of pride in studying more of the anatomical issues that come across with the human body. You were quite skilled with magic. Unfortunately, unfortunately, it's not really my area of expertise. This accent's going all over the place.
Well, it's, something I found I could do, and I thought I'd be good at it.
You are quite good.
Well, I've got a lot to learn yet, but there's always time.
There's only so much I can do, but it's good work. It makes me feel proud.
Nothing quite like healing someone.
Mhm.
Really put life into perspective, in a way.
So, Edan, did you grow up in a monastery then? Is that how you know how to heal?
I wouldn't call it a monastery so much. I grew up in a church, but not one that was too interested in healing people.
So, how'd you learn how to heal?
Oh, that was something I learned myself. It took a little bit of doing, but I had the natural propensity, and
There's a big word.
with a few willing subjects, I learned that I had some ability with it. Been doing it ever since.
Well, that's a very unique skill, I would say. Not everybody can... I don't even understand how you can do it. I can make people
No.
laugh or attracted. That's easy, but saying like, "Oh, you're healed," and then healing someone, that doesn't make sense.
No, I've met others that are much more skilled at it than I am currently, but I'm learning.
Yes, Squeak.
Sorry, I have a quick question. Are we all planning on hanging out together further than this?
But I mean, if you're planning on going on that ball,
Well, I was really only in town for like a short matter of business, and now I seem to be roped in on a bull hunt, and
Oh, want to be fun?
I guess
though?
I have a room here free for a while.
What were
Is
you
this
in
something?
town
I mean, is there something pressing that you need to get back to?
No, I wouldn't say it's pressing. I'm just out and about, just trying to help people. But I guess, like, in a sense,
help
is it
us?
like, do you need help?
I
I think the citizens of this town could use quite a bit of help. Rebuilding.
Oh, I absolutely
Moral
agree.
support.
I would love to go visit that temple tomorrow. Have any of you gone up to the temple area, by chance?
No, yes, I'm
I'm
saying
looking
that.
for.
no.
Have you happened to meet a Father? Hold on. Father Xanthus?
Yes, he was a lovely man. Offered to let
Oh.
me stay there for free.
Oh, do you think maybe you can introduce me?
I'd be happy to. I'm headed there after
Right.
we're done here. If you'd like to come with me.
If that's all right.
No, you're very welcome.
Oh, no, I'm
along.
sorry. I don't mean to be all like, you're lovely people. Very skilled, very bloody. Lots of blood. So much blood.
Not anymore.
Blood bother.
But I guess, I don't know. Just nerves. I'm sorry. I
Wait,
should probably have some more tea.
you do a lot of healing, right? But
I find
your
alcohol
s-
is actually a lot better for nerves than tea, actually.
your s-
I
Tea is a
actually
bit
no. I mean,
stimulant.
I've got. It depends on the types of tea that you're drinking, of course. Yes, this is. Actually, you're right. This is probably a caffeinated version. I probably should have gone for less caffeine. But I mean, alcohol is great for medicinal purposes. Maybe I've never partook, so I really wouldn't know.
Oh,
So
yeah, it'll slide you.
Oh no, I'm no, I'm all right. Thank you very much.
It'll help you with your nerves.
No, it's all right. No, I have tea.
With caffeine.
Everyone
yes,
has their
that's what-
coping. Nothing wrong with taking a bit of tea instead of alcohol.
well, here, reach into a here. hand you
Oh, thank you.
a handful of
Water.
dried
What?
herbs.
Emiko will bring you another mug of hot water.
I'll just drop them in and just starts chugging. Doesn't even wait for them to steep. Just go for it.
Well, it would have been chamomile, but
Now it's just water.
it's just water.
Yeah,
with
just water with
bits
some
of-
dried sticks on top of it.
Yep, pretty much.
Oh.
Either way, if you'd like to meet Father
Wonderful.
Santos, I'd be happy to introduce you.
Yeah.
Yes, please, thank you.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around the fact that you have dedicated your life to healing injuries, and blood makes you nervous.
It's not so much blood that makes me nervous. I mean, I can touch blood. I touch blood all the time. It's just, it's very unhygienic.
Oh, that's fair.
And then when it coagulates, it gets dark, and then sometimes the white blood cells will separate from the other cells, and then there's different... Okay, I'm walking myself off. I shouldn't have had the caffeine. Caffeine was a problem.
What exactly is a cell? Say that
It's a
word.
jail.
I got the blood.
I don't know, it's just something I was told, and that's just the way I was told it. That you think of it as
Cell?
two different things. So you have cell number 1, cell number 2. So you have 2 of them.
Like a prison
Some's
cell?
white, some of them's...
And
Sort of. Well,
I always assumed blood was just blood. I suppose there's more to it.
blood,
Yeah, I thought it was
blood,
like-
blood is a wonderful property. It's got so many things. Have you ever sat and watched blood just sit in the tube that's clear? It separates, especially if you shake it in,
Can't
you know,
say that I
circular
have.
motions. It's quite fascinating.
I've
No, I've
always thought of it kind of
Never
just
stayed
like another
around
liquid.
long enough.
The only thing I've eaten today is an apple. I should eat something.
Oh, you should try the
I think we
vegetable
should.
stew.
Also, I will say, Squeak, with how much she pays attention to like other people and like health stuff, will definitely have noticed that Nyrelion has eaten like as much, if not even slightly more, than like normal meal size for like 2 whole people.
Sus. Burn.
Hold on. This is a problem. Brain is exploding.
Yeah, you've just seen him eat it like his 3rd dinner.
Yeah.
I mean, what would that be? Is that even something I would roll for, or just something I would notice?
He has a tapeworm, that's what it is.
That's just something you would know. I know you would notice that
It's his
because of how
animal
close you pay attention. Did you say he has a
Never find out.
tapeworm?
Tapeworm animal companion.
That's 0 baby.
Tapeworm familiar.
Tapeworm familiar. I love it.
Actually, this time
Oh yeah,
period.
the whole time she's sitting there, she's a nervous fucking wreck.
Are you?
Squeak, do you maybe need
Feeling
to
all
go
right.
get some rest?
Or relax. You seem tense.
Do you need
I'm
another
fine.
bath?
That's not a bad idea.
I mean, I think they're
I don't
free.
think
Another
idea.
bath.
No, it's just, you know, it's very loud in here, and I think I might need to go have a lie down. It's been wonderful meeting you people.
It was a pleasure meeting you too. I hope you come with
Wonderful.
us tomorrow.
Some good fun today.
Oh, and that
Yes,
boar hunt
wonderful fun.
business.
Is that tomorrow?
2 days.
2 days.
Oh.
Day after tomorrow.
Okay.
2 days.
Yes,
My
if you'd
bad.
like to meet Father Xantus, you
Yes,
can meet me at
I'm
the
gonna
temple tomorrow
go.
morning.
That sounds wonderful. I'll meet you there. It's wonderful
Very
meeting
well.
you. Goodbye.
I'll go
She'll
there
just
too.
go. She'll just leave.
She'll just go.
Fucking hell.
Might as well see the sights.
It's quite an impressive building.
mean,
They're still
that's-
working on it.
I saw parts of it while I was walking to the carnival, so wouldn't mind getting a closer look.
It's quite something, and never a bad opportunity to pray.
Actually, hold on before she'll leave.
Trenton,
Yeah.
sorry, you seemed interested in possibly some morning stretches. Would you care to join me in the morning?
Oh, of course. That sounds like it'd be very helpful.
What's your room number?
5.
5.
If you'd like, I'll wake you up. I wake up quite early.
Oh, certainly.
Well, it's been lovely meeting all of you. It's quite late. Goodbye.
Bye, Squeak.
Have a good
Just
evening.
leaves.
Sleep
Good to
well.
meet you.
Pleasure to make the acquaintance.
I'm loving this party.
Yes.
She
It's a
seems
good
kind of
time.
high strung.
I think the fight probably got to her a little bit.
Yes.
You know, I bet boar hunt, walking through the woods, that would help her calm down. Always helps me.
I agree.
Very peaceful.
Not sure the bull
Mhm.
part of that bull
She
hunt
doesn't
will,
need to be a
but
part of that.
we'll distract her.
She can
I get
enjoy the
that.
ball after as well.
I can distract her.
That's right.
That is true.
I mean,
Very well. Yeah.
Does she eat meat? I've heard of that. That's a thing. Some
Oh,
people
good
don't eat
point.
meat.
not sure.
Keep it-
She didn't seem to really eat much besides that apple. I suggested the
yeah.
vegetable stew, but she left before getting some. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna have a server drop off a bowl of vegetable stew
Yes.
to make sure
Yeah.
she's getting well fed.
Very good idea.
Hate
If
to
I
see
want
someone
to
go
talk
hungry.
so much about scurvy, she really doesn't eat much herself, does she?
You know, the saying is an apple a day, but not just an apple. You know?
More than an apple a day.
At
definitely.
least an apple.
Greater than an apple a day.
Definitely.
Barest
probably.
minimum.
At least a banana. You gotta get a banana in there somewhere.
An apple and a banana a day, and you're all right.
Yeah.
She'll be alright.
Kind of devilishly.
My grandfather for the longest time. So my grandfather worked until he was 84. And in the bottom of his filing cabinets, the bottom drawer of his filing cabinet thing was just fruit. And it was his after lunch snack. So because he worked with people in Japan. So he would do all of his business first thing in the morning because that's when they all ended their workday, and then he just hung out all day long. Then after lunch, he'd open up his drawer, pick from one of the various fruits he bought through the week, and then have a nap. It was great.
That's amazing.
That's awesome. Oh my goodness.
Living the dream.
No kidding. Bananas in a filing cabinet.
Band
work
name.
in
That's another band name. Yeah.
Yep.
I'll add it to the list.
The fruit cabinet.
The fruit cabinet.
Fruit
That's another good
cabinet.
one.
Fruit filer.
The fruit cabinet sounds like something you'd call like all the executives at like Del Monte.
I'll Photoshop a photo of the entire presidential cabinet and just put
As
different
fruit.
fruits on their heads.
All the C
Yeah.
level
You gotta
executives are
ch-
just like the fruit
Hmm.
cabinet.
What fruit do you think John Kerry is?
An old withered pear.
He's a prune. He's a big grape.
I was gonna say fruit cabinet sounds like something you'd call like solitary confinement.
Oh, in like an asylum.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh my god.
Jake.
Padded
Fruit
room.
cabinet.
You and Emily getting locked in solitary on Alcatraz.
Yep. When I went to go visit Sam, we went to do a night tour of Alcatraz.
Oh, cool.
What?
Emily and I wanted to go, and we heard through the grapevine you could get locked in solitaire to see how it was if the tour guide was doing it. Because they just had tour guides walking around answering questions. And Sam and I got separated. Emily and I went off. Because the entire joke the entire evening was we were going to sneak off and go get locked in solitaire. Emily and I sneak off. We get locked in solitaire. All Sam sees is she meets up
I
with
took
Brandon.
a step into the area of solitary confinement just as they slam the door closed and lock it, and I was like, nope, that's probably them. And boom, it was the two of them. Both of like,
Yep.
it was so cool, we got locked in solitary. Like, oh god damn it, it was you. I knew it was you. Monsters.
Were there any ghosts in there? Did you get to talk to the ghost of Al Capone? He was in Alcatraz, right?
Windows.
Does he still have ghost syphilis?
They're just dark.
Oh yeah, no, you could
He-
not.
Apparently his ghost doesn't show up there as often. Apparently he shows up at some other weird hotel.
It's a weird hotel.
I mean,
It's
if
gotta
I come
be a
back as a
weird
ghost,
hotel
I
at
don't
the
want to show up in Alcatraz. I'll show up at a hotel if I can.
Yeah, that's right. Somewhere.
You get to
nice.
choose though.
Bushy.
Bougie. Yeah.
Bougie. Jacob is a bougie ghost.
Yeah. Only,
Well,
only shows up
the
in
dude
like
who built my high
champagne
school's
halls.
mansion died in Monterey, but yet he came back to the other house where. So maybe it's just where you're attached to. I don't know.
I think that's hilarious.
Who knows? All I know is, yeah, being a ghost haunting Alcatraz probably sucks. It's like, oh yeah, the worst years of my life, and this is what I get to do all death.
The worst years of my life.
My whole death is spent the worst place I ever lived.
I want to haunt Disneyland. That would be a fun place. In the
That'd
haunted
be fun.
mansion.
Oh yeah,
No
there
one
you go.
would know.
So loud.
Sorry. I can't
Just
hear
like
you.
tugging on people's hair,
Yeah.
whispering things in their ears, and they all think it's part of the gag.
Be the best place. You're right, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Well, I guess so many people tried to spread their loved ones' ashes at Disneyland that if you get caught for it, you get kicked out of the park forever. But they just vacuum it up. So if you go to spread your loved one's ashes at Disneyland, they'll just vacuum them up and throw them away.
That's why I
But,
put him in
like,
Cinderella's castle.
Imagine being the person.
That's why there's that whole rumor of women who give birth at Disneyland get like free passes. So Disney will do everything they can to force women off of the lot that try to like come in and have kids at the park.
Yeah, because you can't be a citizen of Disneyland.
Imagine being
It's not
the
a thing.
ghost of the person whose family spread their ashes in It's a Small World.
Oh.
I told my mom I was going to do that to her as a
You
joke,
might-
and I think she's
you might
genuinely
wanna-
horrified of it.
You might want to pick Alcatraz.
You go to Alcatraz for a nice retreat every once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, solitary, finally.
Oh, goodness.
Thank God, at least it's a small world.
It's quiet, even though I can still hear the song in my head.
And then two idiot teenagers run in to solitary, get themselves locked in, and they're chattering the whole time. You're like, no!
I was trying to get away from this.
I hate it.
Oh man. All right. Well,
Should we go to sleep then, I guess? And
yeah,
you guys should come to the circus tomorrow.
It's been a full day.
I'll be there.
I might take you up on that.
Actually enjoy it.
Want to get another one of those funnel
Oh,
cakes?
I enjoyed it
I
plenty
still have
today.
another one of those little wooden chips.
Oh, yes. We'll have to try the ones with fudge this time.
What's fudge?
Well,
Oh. We're about to
going
introduce you
to-
to a whole new world of flavor.
I'm excited. We'll see you in the morning then.
see you tomorrow.
Very
Sleep
well.
I'll head off to my room.
I don't-
Nyrelion,
I will head off back to the White Deer.
can I hire you to escort me back? Nyrelion.
I'm heading in the same direction, so.
Great. So how much?
10 gold.
We'll call it to Silva.
Okay.
You actually are
Should we
trying.
do it silver?
A true mercenary.
She looks like it doesn't hurt at all.
Mm-hmm.
Not a big deal.
Yeah, and you do head back all the way across town for both of you.
And I'm gonna
White
go
Deer
to the
accommodations
temple.
are nicer. Volette, you go back, and at this point, they've gotten all like the burn tents, everything that was damaged. Nothing's been really repaired yet, but everything that was damaged has been taken down and moved off.
Okay. Cool. She'll find her tent area and go to sleep.
I think that's a good place to leave it for tonight, since it's 11.
Sweet.
All right.
Yes.
Sleep in the game, sleep in real
We
life.
survived. That's right. Exactly.
That was a much more successful combat than last
Yeah.
time.
Yes.
Yeah, it went really well.
Goblins
Working
were
like a
rolling
well-oiled
horribly.
machine.
I think that is by far the best that has ever gone. Every time we've played Rise of the RuneLords, I don't think that first combat's ever gone that smooth.
Yeah.
No.
Was it 3 crits back to back to back?
You had
I rolled
3,
18, 18,
I think you rolled
17,
three.
18.
And then 18.
I had 3 crits.
and then Noah had a crit.
There was that one time.
Not today.
No,
Yesterday.
last combat,
time.
nat 20.
Yeah, the last combat.
Personally, I think that one we did where everybody did like the super weird races, except that
right.
one guy. That one went pretty well. I mean,
Except
with
for
one,
you
that
know,
one
that
exception.
one exceptionally elderly elf.
Peg.
Yeah,
That was
I think
so
that guy, you guys
Noah.
cleaned up pretty well on that one. I mean, there was that one little hiccup at the beginning, but
Yeah, you mean that one little hiccup where a player character was murdered in one hit?
yeah, something like that.